Hey guys, brand new podcast, and My Movie The Machine will be in theaters Memorial Day weekend. My Movie The Machine will be in theaters Memorial Day weekend. You will hear me say that 1,000 times. My Movie The Machine will be only in theaters Memorial Day weekend. I will see you at the movies. Tops Off World Tour, we're back in the U.S., baby. Williamsport, Pennsylvania, February 2nd. February 3rd, Hershey, Pennsylvania. Boston at TD Gardens is sold out. Thank you, Boston. Bangor, Maine. Tempe, Arizona, we've added a fourth show February 8th. So we'll be there February 8th, February 9th, February 10th, February 11th at the Mullet Arena. Savannah, Georgia, the next weekend. Tampa, Florida, at the Emily Center. I think the neighbors are banging into a wall. Anyway, Tampa, Florida, Orlando, Cedar Rapids, Green Bay, Minneapolis, Grand Forks, Fargo. I'm bringing Ian Bagg with me to Winnipeg, Saskatoon, Edmonton, Calgary, Kelowna, Bismarck, Sioux Falls, Oshkosh, where I am bringing, I think we're doing Oshkosh, Peoria, Rockford, then Augusta, Georgia, Tupelo, Mississippi, Bossier City, Jonesboro, Charleston, Lexington, Detroit, and then closing out the U.S. leg of this tour in Cleveland, Ohio at the Rocket Mortgage Center. I have my full tearaways I will be wearing there. Going into New Zealand in April 17th. Wow, that's a quick turnaround. Tearo, I'm in New Zealand, Melbourne, Torrensville, Perth, Brisbane, Sydney on the 29th. Today's guest is a guy who I've known probably as long as I've been doing stand-up. He was one of the guys, he's in the class above me, despite us being the same age. He started when he was younger than me. And so he was already a working comic in New York when we got there. He has two specials, More Than Loud and Takes the Third. They're really phenomenal. He's an extremely talented stand-up. And I think he's finally getting his due. His specials are blowing up on YouTube. You can find them both on YouTube. His name is Orny Adams. He is an awesome dude. Give him a watch. Leave a comment. I think Orny would love for me to say, tip him if you can. There's people, I guess you can give money on YouTube now, but more importantly, find him on tour. He is a phenomenal comic. If you go and watch him, you will have a good time. You will laugh your fucking ass off. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, my friend, stand-up comedian, Orny Adams. It is the worst possible show you could have is New Year's Eve.
Absolutely. Especially if you're on stage. I say I'm not on stage for the countdown.
Oh, I fuck up. You have green eyes.
Yeah. How about you?
Well, you have a lot of green on today. And
blue,
I like your watch, and I saw it has a green face, and I was like, oh, it's interesting.
We're both green.
And then I just got this for Christmas. Ooh. Okay, I have a...
Have we started the podcast?
Yeah, we started.
Oh, we did?
New Year's Eve, okay. This is why I have a piece of paper. I'll never remember that. New Year's Eve sucks. I always make the mistake of I'll just stay on stage until the New Year's.
I get off. I'm done. I'm gone.
So
I'm in the front selling merch. 12:05. I got the Venmo QR codes going and stuff like that. It's a disaster. I'm doing it because here's what I say to my team. I'll work New Year's if it's a shit ton of money. Otherwise, I'll sit at home on the couch by myself. I'm not going to have plans no matter what.
Yeah.
I'm not going out. I'm not going to go to a party. God forbid somebody invites me to a party. Last year, I got invited to a party New Year's Eve. I don't want to go. Rich people up in the hills.
Yeah.
Right? They're rich.
Yeah.
I think I'm safe saying this. Can I bring something? What's the proper answer? You're rich.
Oh, no, don't worry about it. We got everything's covered. Just maybe bring a 6-pack of beer or something.
Right. Okay. They don't even need that. Yeah. I mean, I don't even want to be there. I don't want to go. Like a lot of people like having plans. They fear missing out. Like I
have ultimate FOMO. I have hardcore FOMO to the point where if my family's coming over at 4:00 and I'm in the gym at 3:57, I'm looking at my watch, watching Life 360. And the second they come here, my workout's over because I have such FOMO. It is sad.
I'm the opposite. I have FOBI, which is fear of being included. Like, I don't want to go to your party. I don't want to go to your wedding. I don't need to see your joy. I want to be at home. The whole time I'm there, Bert, this is what's going through my mind. First of all, I'm going to say something that's going to piss somebody off.
Yeah.
And that's going to keep me up all night, right? I'm going to, without a doubt, screw this up, right? So I don't need that feeling later. Also,
Wait, are you the kind of person that lays in bed the next day and goes, I fucked that up big time?
Yeah, and I call 10 different people to confirm I fucked it up, thinking somebody's going to side with me.
Yeah.
No, they never side with me.
No one ever sides with me.
No.
They're always like, you were out of control last night.
Yeah.
Apparently, coronavirus isn't real to you. I got fucking wasted one night and I was like, I don't believe in it. Yeah. I give up. I followed all the fucking rules. Yeah. Rogan's right. It's not fucking real. Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah. So I have a fear of being included. I don't need to be there. So they're like, come on, everybody. It's going to be a small group. It'll be fun. Yeah. It'll be fun. So, I just want to stay home and watch 90 Day Fiance.
I wish I had something on TV to watch. That I don't have that warm blanket of a book. For me, it would be alcohol. It would be like, I'm going to open a bottle of wine and just sit on my phone.
Right. Well, I did that once. I was in, what was it? Some, like Indiana. Yeah. And there was like a snowstorm. And I treated myself. I wasn't making a lot of money in those days. I'm still not. But I bought a nice bottle of champagne for myself. And I go back to the hotel room. And I'm I passed out smoking a cigar and holding a bottle of champagne watching Cops. And I thought, this is how it's going to happen. This is how I'm going to go. How great would that be if I die that way? So I go to my friend, can I bring some? The answer is no.
Yeah.
We're rich.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got a house with that. What do you want me to bring an office chair?
Yeah.
What am I going to bring?
Well, they say the ultimate thing to bring is breakfast the next morning for someone.
That's nice.
If you want to bring something, bring them bagels because no one ever thinks about the next day. Mm-hmm. Keep going. I'm sorry. I'm interrupting like crazy.
No, I love it. I love it. So they said, ready for this? Could you bring ice? Ice. That's the lowest form of bring something.
It's the biggest pain in the ass.
Nothing says we don't trust you to bring an appetizer or dessert. Bring ice. I mean, you want me to wash the cars too? I mean, do you realize how early you have to show up with the bags of ice so nobody sees you?
You got to be there early because everyone wants a cold drink. And you can't just show up with 10 pounds of ice. You got to come in with at least 40 pounds of ice because they need ice. And now you're covered in fucking ice. Right. Your hands are cold. You're exhausted.
And it's New Year's Eve. So the first 7-Eleven you go to, they're out. Oh. So now you got to go in. You have to map this out. You have to have like contingency backup plans. This was an operation. God. And then the end of the party comes and everyone's congratulating everybody for what they brought. Like, who brought the charcuterie board? Who brought the meats and cheese platter thing? Right? You're like, oh, I did. Like everyone's like congratulating each other. Who brought the 3-layer dip? And they're getting all cute. They're like, guilty. Anybody notice I added an extra layer? And and I'm watching this, and now I'm drunk and I'm pissed off. And so it got quiet for a second, and I went right into the middle of the room. I'm like, excuse me, did everybody enjoy their cold drinks tonight? Ice didn't just appear in those cups. Somebody had to go to 3 7-Elevens. If anybody wants to hear the story.
How rich are these people that they like?
$15 million house.
Ooh, they don't have ice makers.
I don't, maybe it was broken. Maybe they were expecting more, but it was catered. Why doesn't catering have ice?
I'll tell you right now, if for anyone listening, the best gift you can give yourself is find a good ice delivery guy. They have ice delivery guys. Yeah. We have North Hollywood Ice is fucking awesome. But I've been using them.
How often are you in need of more ice than?
I'm a big ice guy. And in our old house, we didn't have our ice maker broke. And so I would stockpile ice. I would do ice polar. I'm a big ice guy.
Yeah.
I would do polar plunges in a tub.
Oh, okay.
So I get 300 pounds of ice like once a week.
That's
and then
different.
I'd fill up everything. All the freezers got ice. I top off all the freezers with ice. I take bags of ice and keep them in coolers. Yeah. And then I do my polar plunge and then use that ice throughout the week. I'd cover it. And
I thought you were going to say you use it for like drinks or
no.
As I'm sitting here drinking a thing of ice water, I'm like, oh shit, this was around Bert's balls 2 days ago.
I love cold. I love cold beverages. Like I'm so glad I have an ice maker out here and an ice maker in there. And that was like my one treat to myself was like, my wife got 2 dishwashers. So she was like, that way, you know, there's never dishes in the sink.
Right.
When you have a big party, you're always doing dishes. I was like, I want ice makers. And she almost bought me the same one. I said, no, I want different types of ice. Dude, I've been taking ice on that one, and that one's popcorn ice.
Yeah.
And I put my cup in there, and then I pack it down real tight and pour whiskey over it.
Oh. What point of the podcast do we get to that?
Oh, fuck.
What? First of all, the fact that you know the different names of the ice.
I'm fucking.
That just says a lot. I mean, you've got a problem.
I have a problem. I have a problem with drinking in general. Like I have a problem. Like I'm working on 2 beverages right now.
Yeah.
I drink water like crazy. I drink water so fucking fast.
That's great.
But I only drink it out of these liquid death cans because I think because of the delivery method.
But what is this liquid death? Like, why is water liquid death? Like, why would you ever, as you're chugging it and perhaps about to die, why would you ever? I'm doing the anti-ad for liquid death. I just don't get the name. Like
I don't get it either.
Like edgy water?
Whoa. I'll tell you what, it's stuck.
Your water's not badass enough. You got to drink liquid death.
It's been great for branding because mothers have been trying to get it off the counters.
Who?
Like moms are like, hey, you need to get.
Is this your water?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
No.
I love liquid death water.
No, I work with a company. I was an early discoverer of liquid death through. You know Colleen at the Funny Bone?
Of course.
Her son.
Yeah.
Her son works for Liquid Death.
Oh, cool.
And so he brought me some when I was in San Francisco and left it on our bus. And at first I was like, what a silly.
Okay. So there, I wasn't so wrong, was I?
I was like, I'll never drink this water. But they have sparkling water and we're making double Tito's and sodas. So I'm like, oh, I'll use a sparkling water. So we went through the sparkling water. And then one day I'm home at my old house and I'm thirsty. And I think it was during the pandemic. And I started drinking water like crazy. I got really hydrated. And I took my blood pressure. My blood pressure was like really good. And I think it's always high because I'm dehydrated.
Right.
And so I started going, oh, you know, it's super easy. I'll grab a case, put it by my recliner.
Yeah.
And I'll just drink 6 waters throughout the night.
Yeah.
And then get hydrated.
Yeah.
And I thought, and it was just because I can drink it fast. I like it.
Huh.
But the marketing's been great because moms are trying, you know, old fucking Tipper Gore type moms or want liquid death off the things.
Where'd you come up with that name, Tipper Gore?
She has been my go-to for making rules. Because I remember she was the one that wanted NWA and all them Ice Cube to be pulled off the shelves.
Yeah, in those years, yeah.
Tipper Gore.
Wow.
What's Tipper Gore? I bet she.
Al Gore's wife.
I wonder if she's not. They can't still be together.
Of course they are.
No.
Those people, they don't get divorced. If it's not good for business and politics. And
I think she passed.
No.
She was an alcoholic? Oh, what did I say?
Explain to me the drinking so I can understand it because I love to drink.
Yeah.
In fact, this summer I rediscovered the gin and tonic.
Oh my, what a great beverage that is.
Can I tell you what makes the gin and tonic so great?
Please.
It gets better as the ice melts.
Yes.
It's the only drink that gets better. You know, like when they come to take it, there's only a little bit left. You're like, touch the gin. It's about to get good.
I don't even take the limes out. When I make my new one, I leave the old limes in and almost have a lime graveyard.
Oh, I got into like buying all different tonics and trying it and going with different gins and researching it.
I have 2 thoughts of gin and tonic. My first thought was when we first had Georgia 18 years ago, I guess, in June, 19 years ago. My sister worked at Fox, both my sisters moved out. They lived in right off Pico. I think that's out there, out by Fox.
Okay.
And on Monday nights, Liam would go to tennis, and Georgia was a baby. I didn't know what the fuck to do with her. And I'd come home Monday morning. I'd be drunk from flying home, and so I'd go over to my sister's house, and we'd grill out, and we make dinner, and I would drink gin and tonics, and they were. The gin and tonics are so fucking good.
What kind of gin? Help me.
I always go Beefeaters.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I go Beefeaters, and by the end, I'm pouring very little tonic in.
Yeah.
And that.
You always run out of the tonic before the gin.
Well, I go diet tonic too.
Oh, I don't.
I'm a hardcore diet tonic.
No.
Me and my buddy.
You get an aftertaste if it's diet.
I love it. My buddy Ben
Have
Seberg.
you had liquid death tonic water?
They don't make it.
No, they should.
They should.
They should.
Tonic water is such an interesting thing. I don't like tonic water except with gin. I can't have vodka tonic. Ugh.
Yeah, I've never. I'd like the tonic water people to explain to me why it's so expensive.
Yeah.
Like, why are the little the shitty, crappy 6-ounce ones, why is that $5.99?
Yeah, what is tonic? What is in tonic?
It's soda.
It's carbonated soft drink with quinine.
Yeah, quinine. Well, like, the Canadian.
What's quinine?
It's bullshit, is what it is. And they got some the Canadian people who makes it liquid. What is it?
One time, one of the worst experience I ever had on marijuana. I was at my buddy Cayman's house, and we got high, and I had cotton mouth, and I was starting to have a little bit of a panic attack, and I went downstairs to his fridge, and I grabbed what I thought was soda water, and I opened it, and I pounded it, and it was tonic, and it ruined the taste of my mouth for the rest of the fucking day.
Yeah. Tonic water without gin is it's undrinkable.
My dad likes tonic water. What the fuck? What is quinine?
Quinine is a medication used to treat malaria and babesiosis.
There you go. We found the cure for COVID.
This includes the treatment of malaria due to Plasmodium falciparum. That is resistant to chloroquine.
Whoa. Common side effects of quinine: ringing in the ears, vision issues, and sweating. All things that happen when I drink.
First isolated in 1820 from the bark of the cinchona tree, which is native to where? Peru, everybody.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's fucking... The Jesuit missionaries. I remember my buddy Ben Seberg one time, we were in college, and he goes, let's get drunk tonight. There was nothing going on. And I was like, well, there's nothing going on. He was like, no, let's just me and you go to a liquor store and buy ingredients to a drink we've never had. And let's make those drinks and see. I mean, they got to be good. Everyone likes them.
Right.
So the first one we bought was gin and tonics. I'd never had a gin and tonic. I was probably 22.
Yeah.
We just never had one.
Yeah.
Gin and tonics is an interesting drink because you don't really no one's in high school sneaking gin and tonics. It's such like a drink your dad would have to go play golf.
Yeah.
Or you have like after a round of tennis.
Yeah.
And fucking then next thing you know, we were drinking gin and tonics all night, playing pool, getting fucking blitzed, obliterated. The next night we were like, let's get drunk again. That was so much fun. And we tried to make martinis, and we could not figure out the mix.
Actually, I don't see gin and tonic as you get shit-faced kind of drink. You never hear people say, I'm hungover from the gin and tonic. I see the gin and tonic people as like the James Bond crowd that know how to control their liquor intake. It's a more, plus you're hydrating. You got tonic in there.
Gin and tonic is an irresponsible drink. It's an afternoon drink. It's something you have. We should have a gin and tonic. And then everyone goes, oh, yeah. Like, no one denies a gin and tonic.
Yeah. Do you know, I have a theory, and I'd like this to end up on the Q9 Wikipedia page, and you can cite me. This could be the source. I'm pretty sure Q9 kills the hangover.
No.
Did you see your face? The way you just...
I love cheat
You're
codes.
just like a meme right in front of you.
I love cheat codes like that.
Yeah.
Like, if you found out, because you don't get hungover on gin and tonics?
No.
Like, but how many drinks do you have? You seem like someone who has 2.
Yes.
And then you go, oh, that was good for me.
And sometimes I don't finish the second one just to show the table I'm not an alcoholic.
Oh my God.
Then I go home and, pound it.
Wait, do you live by yourself?
Okay, I do. But here's the thing. I am an unbelievable drunk. I'm like fun.
Really?
Like every time I'm drunk, I don't think
I've ever seen you drunk.
Oh, first of all, I say really inappropriate things. So it's like, it's borderline, you could be canceled. But I'm fun. Tequila Orny, if I was that guy all the time, I would have too many friends and I'd be overbooked. I'd have a career.
That's my game plan.
I know.
What are you waiting for?
It worked for you.
It worked brilliantly.
Yeah. Yeah. But like if I drank today, okay, I couldn't do a show tonight.
Yeah, I couldn't either.
Yeah. Okay. So things have changed. You used to be able to, right?
I used to be able to. Well, I just wouldn't. I could. I mean, I could. I would be regret it and be like, nah, I shouldn't. That's irresponsible.
Yeah, because you can't. I don't care who you are. Your act is not going to be as sharp.
No.
If you drink, even if I drank the night before.
Oh, I can do that.
It affects me.
I can do that easy.
But don't you? This is what I do. I drink, and then I wake up like 2 hours later, like the sugar leaves my body, and then I sit there and regret, going, "Why did I do this? Why did I drink? And what is that laying next to me?"
I've said that before. And why did I marry her 19 years ago? I have regret in the morning when I drink. Like I drank a good amount last night, and I woke up regretful that I'm being unhealthy.
Wait, last night you drank.
Yeah,
that's why your eyes are a little glossy.
Yeah.
So are you not as sharp today on this part? Is my podcast going to suffer because you drank last night?
No.
Okay.
Apparently, I've rope-a-doped myself enough that no one can tell the difference when I'm drinking and not drinking. I had my parents were in town. They were leaving. Last night was their last night, so we I've been doing something that I'm not certain is the right thing, but I've been eating an edible before I start drinking. And I think that's why I sleep better at night. I don't get woken up in the middle of the night. I sleep soundly through the night. My recovery's through the roof, but I'm having a hard time getting up and get going the next day, which I've never had when I didn't eat edibles.
What time do you sleep till?
Late on this edible, like 8:30 every morning.
It's late.
And I usually wake up at 6.
Yeah.
And so I've been sleeping at 8:30 and like laying in bed being like, I get up out of bed and I'm like, I could go right back to fucking sleep. Like I can't get the marijuana out of my system.
Right. But don't you feel it slows your brain down? You're not processing as fast.
That's what I like. I like that. I like that for the next morning. I like that for the evening. I like that for I started probably 7 days ago. My sister was like, hey, you got to try these edibles.
Yeah.
They're really chill and they'll help you sleep. And I ate one and my sleep recovery was 98%.
Huh.
And I was like, motherfucker. And I didn't drink that much. I had a drink but I was pretty fucking high. And I was like, nice. I was like, I feel fucking great. I feel really chill.
Yeah.
I'm very conversational. And then the next night I was like, I went to the store and I bought 2 tins of them.
Are your parents doing edibles with
my
you?
parents are eating them. My sister's eating them. Here's the rub.
Yeah. There's always something.
Christmas Eve.
Uh-huh.
Christmas Eve we got them. We gave everyone. Everyone that came got an edible. Everyone got an edible.
Yeah.
Everyone. And so I'm in the kitchen and we're cleaning up and I'm like looking and I go, we killed it. Oh shit. I think it's my no, I was thinking it's my cardiologist. I was like cleaning up and I go, we didn't overbuy. Normally we overbuy and we have so many leftovers. I go, we didn't overbuy at all.
Edibles.
No, with food. We cooked the perfect amount of food. Like there was like just one portion left of the potatoes, one portion of the French toast, it was like perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we did it great. The next night, we all had edibles again, and we didn't overorder either. And I'm like, this is amazing. And my sister goes, we're all on edibles. We're eating like fucking lunatics. We were wolfing down food. And the problem was I was mistiming these edibles, and every meal I had, I was going, this is the best meal I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
This is the greatest fucking meal. And we were all saying that. We're like, have you ever had chicken like this? This is fucking amazing. And last night my sister goes, again, she made dinner for us and I'm eating it and I ate an edible last night and I go, I haven't had rice like this in my life. This rice is phenomenal.
Rice? Just rice?
It's just white rice.
Shitty white rice?
This white rice is cooked to perfection. And my sister's like, you got to stop eating edibles before dinner. So tonight is the first night I'm not eating edibles. I'm just going to go to sleep.
I guarantee you don't sleep. You're not going to make it through the night.
I've had them 7 nights in a row.
Yeah, no. Tonight you're not sleeping.
I was thinking about, I'm thinking about maybe just eating an edible and not drinking.
I am in such awe and respect of your substance game. Like, I wish I have to schedule if I'm going to drink or do an edible. Like
For
my
real?
schedule, my schedule has to be open. Yeah, because then like something will happen. Like somebody will, I'll have to make a decision, a business decision. Like I'll pop an edible, then like they need to know in an hour, and I'm like, oh shit. Like there's always like anytime I try and enjoy life, the universe goes no. Or like I wake up in the morning and I'm it doesn't work.
When was the last time you like? When was the last vacation you took?
I've never taken a vacation.
I was thinking about that today. I have a hard time, I was talking to Andrew Schultz yesterday, and he's on vacation, and I was like, how do you do that? Like him and his chick they went to Costa Rica, and he's surfing, and he's not doing podcasts and not creating. And then he texted me, he's like, just fucking fly down here. And in my head, I was like, I will, but we're doing a podcast. I'm bringing my camera. I'm like, I can't just. I told him I can't. I just don't have that. Everything I do is work related.
Yeah, same here. Years ago, since you're going to drop a name, I'll drop a name. I was on tour with Seinfeld, and we were
Andrew Schultz and Seinfeld are in the same book right now.
Great shoes. So now, and you can put me on that list, just so people don't think I'm being anti-Semitic. So we're hanging out before the show, what he calls a hang, and he said, "Why have you never been married?" And I said, "Because no woman can make me feel the way I feel on stage."
Yeah.
And I still feel that. So I've been up since 6 a.m. and I've been working nonstop, creating, editing. I do everything on my own. I haven't gotten to the point where I have a team, which I'm very envious of. And so I edit on my own. I make the clips. I post the clips.
Yeah.
I make the clip the right size for Instagram, which is different than TikTok, which is different than Twitter. Like, these assholes can't just do one format.
I was so
And then every
angry.
time you post something, people tell you what you're doing wrong. Everybody, have you thought about making the thing, the letters are going over the count of the, it's like, Jesus, I just want to write effing jokes, but I can't. I'm tortured. So that's what I do, and it brings me such pleasure. I can't imagine being on a beach feeling better than editing and getting content out.
Yeah, I was probably better at that when I was younger, but the business has changed so drastically that I can't imagine. It's just such a grind now. There's so many fucking comics, and there's so many talented comics. Like, I watch videos, and I see a dude. I saw a dude the other day that was so much funnier than me, and no one knows who he is. Oh, yeah. And I was like, no one knows who he is. And all I thought was, fuck, man, if this guy could learn how to, like, promote himself, get himself out there a little bit, he'd blow the fuck up.
Would you ever reach out to that guy?
I reached out to him.
Have him on the podcast and help
I told him to come tour with me.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, dude, you're fucking hilarious. I was like, if you have any free time in January, February, March, or April.
It's good for you, because I find that most comedians are in a position to help people don't help people. Like, I would say today you're helping me, and I appreciate it.
I don't
you
think
having me on.
I listened to you on Marin the other day on the plane, and I was like, oh, such a good podcast. I was like, I haven't had Orny on in a while, so I just.
I've never been on.
Oh, for real?
We've never done this.
No. I would think that's why I said when I was at my old house. I would have sworn you did one.
Never.
Wow.
I've never done. You know how there's your podcast circle, like all you guys. This is the first one in the circle that I've done.
For real?
Yeah.
You've never done your mom's house?
No.
Shut the fuck up.
Dude,
but how, like that? I assume I've had everyone on twice.
I've never done. The closest I've come is I had Bobby Lee on my podcast.
Yeah.
That's the closest. But no, and then Marin had me on. That was very generous.
You had you on twice, right?
Once.
I thought that was your second time.
No,
on.
that's
But I would argue that lands on you, because I assumed I saw you the other day in the hallway.
I texted you after that. I said, I'd love to do your podcast. You never texted me back.
That never, it's so funny.
And I'll be honest with you.
Same thing happened with Ian Bagg.
Well, that's Ian. Of course it should happen. But with me, come on. I love Ian. I've had Ian on mine. Ian was on mine because Bobby Lee told a story completely lying about something that happened in South Africa. Said he was being mugged and he was on the ground. They were holding him down. He looked up and he saw me and Ian Bagg watching. He sold on my mother's house. Complete bullshit. Okay, we weren't there. We didn't not jump in and sit. But Bobby's always the victim.
Yeah.
So I had him on and I said, listen, I saw you talking about this on my mother's house, and I played the clip. And he knew he was lying. You could see it in his eyes. And then I played Ian Bagg saying, hey, Ian, was I there? And he goes, no, you weren't there. He goes, I got there later. And he told me the story later. I go, I was at the hotel when he told me the story. But in his mind, his crazy mind, he believes that I was there watching him get mugged.
But Bobby has what I have, and that is, you tell the story that you need people to feel. Like, he needs you to feel what he felt. And what he felt is so much more trauma than what actually happened. Yeah. Like, I do that a lot. And I do that. I do it with almost every story, is I will tell you this. I will tell it like I need you to feel it.
Yeah.
So I tell stories about me and Tom sometimes, and Tom's just like, that's definitely not what happened. And I go, but you know that it kind of did. And he's like, well, she didn't ask me to get on my knees. And I'm like, yeah, but that's how it made, like, that's how I felt it. I felt it in the room. But Leanne does that. I'll tell a story, but also I like to craft a story so that it's good, so that I don't want to just sit at a dinner party and tell you a bullshit fucking story. So I'm bringing thunder. If I'm going to tell you a story, I'm bringing thunder.
Well, that's what Bobby said. He goes, do you believe everything I say on podcasts is true? Do you? And he admitted he lied at the end. It's a really beautiful clip. It's on my TikTok and Instagram.
But why haven't you been on anyone's podcast?
Nobody asked me.
But no one asked me. Do you think Rogan asks me? No,
I'm not asking Rogan. I'm not asking Tom.
I'll tell you right now. I was talking to Joe the other day, and I said, man, that Bobby Kelly interview was fucking really awesome. It was really a great fucking Rogan appearance.
He's great, Bobby.
And he said, yeah, man, I can't believe I hadn't had him on yet. And I said, yeah, why hadn't you had him on? He goes, he hadn't asked. But it's like, I think the majority of the times people just forget that, like when you texted me, I was like, yeah. And I really honestly had just recently set up an organizational structure so that I can type names of people and just go, Orny Adams, fucking in bag, and just type them in the thing.
Yeah.
And Ryan Leaf texted me the other day, and I was like, oh, I definitely want him on.
Yeah.
In the old setup, it would have been just me, and unless I reply and set up the date right then, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And now I have Jen and
I think part of it is I have at times, and this is either true or my own insecurity, have felt not welcomed or rejected by the comedy community. And you can figure out why. It was what we talked about on Marin. And to the point where, might blow your mind too, I don't work the Comedy Store. I'm not passed at the Comedy Store. Well, they won't let me work the Comedy Store.
Well, there's a lot of people that aren't passed at the Comedy Store for whatever reasons. And I wasn't passed at the Comedy Store until like fucking 4 years ago. I am a tobacco guy. I'm a big tobacco guy. I love dipping. I dipped all growing up. And I quit, but I love Black Buffalo Zero. If you don't know about Black Buffalo Zero, let me tell you about them. Black Buffalo is a great product line. If you're 21 and over and use nicotine, pouches, long cut, whatever, you have to try tobacco alternative Black Buffalo. Black Buffalo is everything you love, nothing you don't, the feel, the taste, the ritual, just without the actual tobacco leaf or stem. Black Buffalo is actually made from a variety of cabbage leaves. Different leaf, same ritual. No matter whether you call it dip or chew, Black Buffalo makes all the flavors you know and love, like wintergreen, mint, straight, peach, even blood orange, with and without pharmaceutical grade nicotine. Did you get that? With and without pharmaceutical grade nicotine. Big name celebrities are using this product, like Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer. You can buy Black Buffalo online at blackbuffalo.com or at thousands of retail locations across the country by checking the store locator on their website. If you are like me and you're from Florida, you can check them out at your local Pilot or Racetrack stores. I love Black Buffalo because it's not nicotine. The Black Buffalo Zero I use is not nicotine, and it's not tobacco. It's not the leaf. It's not the stem. And it tastes identical. It brings back all the feelings. It's almost like sitting by a barbecue. You smell it and you get hungry. Does the same thing. The second I put in a Black Buffalo Zero, the conversation skyrockets. I relax, and I'm transported back to college when gossip was afoot. If you're 21 and over and use products like this, it's time to join the Black Buffalo herd. Head to blackbuffalo.com and use the promo code BERT at checkout for 15% off your first order. That's the best offer you'll find, but you have to use my code BERT for 15% off your first order. One last time. That's promo code BERT for 15% off your first order. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. I fucking hate my wallet. I hate my wallet. It's big. It's bulky. All I want to do really is carry credit cards and a license. That's it. But someone got me my wallet for my birthday. Who buys a wallet for someone on their birthday? That's such a personal decision. I want a sleek, cool wallet. And I don't have that, but now I do. Now I do because we are sponsored by Groove Life. It's 2023. Are you still using the same wallet from 2003? It's time to update your wallet game. The Groove wallet is sleek, low-profile wallet engineered for everyday use. One simple thumb motion perfectly fans out to 6 cards for easy access to find everything you need. And with its durable, high-quality aluminum outer shell, this wallet is unlike any wallet I've ever seen. Whatever happens to your Groove Life gear, they're here to help. With Groove Life's 94-year no BS warranty. 94 years? I love that number. The Groove wallet is the last wallet you will ever need. If you're the kind of guy who likes to carry a ton in his wallet and needs a little more space, well, they've got a detachable money clip or a premium leather card holder that maintains the sleek look Groove Life has become famous for, but gives you more room, the room you need. I love my Groove Life wallet. We just got them. I just got back in the States, and we just got them on the bus, and I'm ready to switch over, and I'm so excited to switch over. I also got one for Ron, because Ron is constantly sitting in the bus and always needs his wallet on him, and he loves it. It's just right in your pocket. It's very sleek. It's very comfortable. It's time to bring your wallet into the 21st century. Head to groovelife.com/Bert and use promo code BERT for 20% off all Groove Life products. That's the best offer you'll find, but you have to use my code BERT for 20% off your order. One last time, that's promo code BERT for 20% off your order.
So that's part of it, because I believe that comedy podcasting was born out of the Comedy Store. All you guys are store people. So I wasn't there for the beginning of podcasting.
Yeah, but I'm not. I mean, I am a store guy in that I go to that's where I perform mostly at, but I'm not inherently a store guy in that I'm more an improv guy, because I started doing sets at the Improv in LA, and I just never, the store wasn't welcoming to me when I moved out here, and I didn't know those guys, and it seemed like a clique that I wasn't going to break into. And then I think ultimately Tom became friends with Rogan, and Joe reached out to me, and we became friends. And then I became friends with all those guys before I even did the store. I hadn't even performed at the store before that, I think. And then I made friends with them. And then when I got past, but you're right, podcasting is born out of the store. That's an interesting statement, because you did have, there was a tension between you and I don't even know who the comics would be, but like, I know what you're saying. When we were young, I know that you had this like tension, because you had all this heat when you were young, and you had all this stuff going on. And I remember watching you butt heads with, I don't even know who. I want to say Patrice, but it's not.
No,
It's not Patrice, because those were all your guys.
Yeah, Patrice. Somebody said that there's a podcast episode where he was talking about me and saying just generous things. I'll say this about all those guys, all the Comedy Cellar in Boston guys. They been nothing but kind to me. Yeah. In fact, when I would come up the cellar stairs and they were at the comics table, nobody ever made fun of me. They were cool. I don't think I've ever really butted heads with anybody.
So then when you say you feel like a distance between you and the comedy community, what do you feel? Where do you feel that is?
Well, I don't, I reached out to, I'm not going to say who, but two people, I'll tell you off the air, that are big in the podcast game. In fact, one, I did their podcast a few years ago. I said, why don't you hop on mine? And when I'm saying hop on mine, I'm also saying, I'd love to hop on yours.
Yeah.
Okay. And they flat out just, no, I'm too busy. And
I've gotten that before. That bums me out. I've gotten that, and then I've seen them on other people's podcasts, and I go, so you weren't too busy.
Right. Just mine's not good enough for you.
Yeah.
And just, I feel like I've always felt like I'm not the comic that hangs out. So like if you see me at the store, if I'm doing like one of the produced shows, I dip in and I dip out, because I know I'm going to get myself in trouble if I hang out too long.
But I think that's the thing is you got like, because I felt really uncomfortable at the store when I first started going there. And I remember talking about it in therapy, and my therapist was like, you said you wanted to work at the store. If you want to work at the store, you got to hang out at the store. You got to show that you want to work at the store.
Yeah.
And so that was like the hardest thing for me, is to be what I would argue was a successful comic trying to get past in front of people that weren't working.
See, I just thought you were one of the original guys that was there with Bobby Lee early on and all that.
I feel the same way. I felt a connection between me, you, and Eddie Ift, because I think we're all roughly the same age, and we all had almost like an outsider's. I always felt like an outsider in New York. I never felt like I would never sit down at the table at the cellar. Yeah. I'd walk in, they'd bust my balls for a second, but I'd just go to the bar, talk to Geraldo, talk to Attell, and fucking leave. Yeah. And I never felt like, I still to this day don't feel like I'm a comic that like sits around and just, ribs and does this stuff. Like I always feel like an outsider. But I felt that me, you, and Eddie Ift had that same, all had a weird kind of energy that we weren't like, I don't know, this sounds really weird to say, but like, we weren't entirely broken. So we didn't come into comedy going like, this will fix me. Like we were like, oh, this is cool. I love this. This is what I found what I love to do. And I'm also going to work hard and try to succeed.
Right.
Like
when I'm done with my shows, I want to sit down and write everything that went right and wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit there and just make fun of each. Like I didn't hang out with the comics.
Yeah.
Maybe that came across as I was arrogant. Maybe I was arrogant. You would have a better perspective on me than me.
I never saw you as arrogant. I saw you as busy. I always remember you having like one of those messenger bags on and like a leather coat that went to your thighs and just being busy, like going, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And in a weird way, this business, our comics do not reward hard work. They almost mock any sort of hard work. Like it's inherent in comics to be like, if they see you trying to make fun of you, at least the generations when we started, the guys that were a little older, if they saw you trying, it was like they would make fun of you. I thought. I always felt like coming from not like a sports. The only analogy I ever had with comedy was sports, because I played sports growing up. So like the first time I ever did stand up, I remember saying to my dad, do you remember the thing you said about Brad Radke growing up, that he was going to play pro? That you could see it, that there was something different with him. I go, I think I found that in comedy. I think that's my thing. And so I looked at comedy like I did just baseball, really, honestly, because baseball was a everyday kind of sport and comedy was an everyday kind of sport. It wasn't like, and these are weird analogies, but as a catcher, my dad said when I was a kid, he was like, there are people who can play baseball like they play football, meaning they got one game in them a week. And then there's people that can play baseball like they play football like they play baseball, where they can play every single fucking day.
Yeah,
a baseball player can show up every fucking day and play.
Right.
And I love that. I love the idea that comedy was like that it was every fucking day.
Every day.
That you were going to have bad sets, but you played so much that you could get your average up.
Yeah.
And that was what but I remember seeing guys like me, you and Eddie were like three dudes that were, I just felt like on the outside, very make funnable, very, and doing our own thing in that I just remember, especially when the documentary came out with the stand-up documentary, I remember going, oh, this is going to be fucking huge for him. This is going to be fucking huge for him, because it was all based right. And I was like, and I bet there's people that are like, oh, fuck him. He shouldn't have gotten that. I should have gotten that. It's my turn. That was the weird thing about our business, is there's always been those weird rules. And I just never listened to him. I was like,
but that might be why I wasn't accepted, because I don't play by the rules. I'm just like you. I'll circumvent. I'm doing it, and I'm not stepping on anybody, because what I think is beautiful about stand-up comedy is there's room for everybody.
Yeah.
Like if I hear, did you hear what Bert Kreischer got? I'm like, great.
Yeah.
But I mean, it hurts more now that I'm older and like I haven't succeeded to the point that I had hoped for. But still, there's plenty of room. And I'll tell a story. I wanted to tell the story today because it's about you. Do you remember when we were in the Dallas airport?
No.
This is years ago. This might be 15 years ago. And it was one of those days where, like, when you go through the airport, you see all the comics going to gigs, coming from gigs. Like, there's a turnover day. You know, it's Sunday or Monday. And this, to me, says so much about your character and why I always respect you. Yeah, it's a nice Bert story.
Oh, good. I'm pretty positive I was blacked out at the Dallas airport, but keep going.
I think you'll remember. So I see you. No. This is what happened. I was on a show called Teen Wolf. We did 100 episodes.
I do remember this. Okay. Keep going. Yeah.
Do you want to tell the story?
No, you tell it.
Okay, I'll tell it. So some fans recognized me and were like out of their minds, jumping up and down, and probably wanted a picture. And then I look up and there you are filming it. And you're like so excited. Yeah. You said and you put it up there and you couldn't be more supportive. So you weren't going like, what did you pay them to scream like that? Like you didn't cut down the moment. And I go, Bert is a supportive, nice person. And I wish there was more of that in comedy. Well,
I think I've always looked at it. I've seen things from not the right perspective, maybe. Like I look at success in this business as like it should be celebrated. Mm-hmm. Anytime anyone succeeds, everyone, no one likes cancel culture more than comics. Comics, the second something comes out on some comic, every comic starts especially like comics that aren't working, they're texting each other. Look at this fucking guy. Knew it. Garbage. Piece of shit. And then you're just like, I remember when Hardwick got lit up, and in all intents and purposes, it seemed like being a bad boyfriend.
Yeah, I don't remember any of the details of any of these anymore.
I don't. I mean, I know that young lady, and I know her father as well. I know both of them, and so it's weird because bad breakups are bad breakups. And look, whatever. I'm not gonna. But I remember the day that happened. I was doing radio, and all these comics started texting, "Fucking Hardwick's going down," and I was like,
and they were happy about it.
And I was like, I like Chris Hardwick. He's always been very kind to me.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, he's a little bit of a weirdo.
Right.
He's we don't run in the same circles, but he's always been very generous to me and very kind. And I've known him for so long. I don't want to see anything bad happen to anyone. And when people succeed, I fucking love it. Like, I love to watch people succeed. I remember when Dane got written up in USA Today as the largest album selling comedian ever. I remember my dad texted me or called me. And he goes, "Do you have the USA Today?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Your buddy Dane Cook, he's just made fucking #1." And I remember taking that in, taking a shit, and thinking,
Boy, nobody saw that coming. That turned in the story. We go, "This is a really nice story."
I remember sitting on the toilet, going, "So that's possible?" Like, because that wasn't possible.
Yeah,
it's not like when Dice did Madison Square Garden. I think all of us were like, I mean, we were all, I don't think any of us were working at the time, but like everyone was like, "Wow, that'll never happen." And then Dane did it. Now, I'm not saying everyone does Madison Square Gardens, but a lot of people do Madison Square Garden. And but it's only achievable now because Dice did it. Like, it's only like people have to succeed for you to succeed also. You can't, I don't believe in that whole fucking one dude gets all the fucking shit.
I don't understand why comedians, and I'm not saying I'm the most supportive person in the world, but I haven't had a chance to dole out, but I know I would dole out. I know if I was, like I was thinking the other day, if I always have this fantasy, if I made $1 billion doing stand-up comedy, how would I give back to the community?
I've thought about that a lot.
Okay, and you can hear me, there's one, Artie Lang, I was on his podcast years ago, and I said, you know what, I was living in New York at the time, I would have a bus that just would go from club to club, taking the comics to get, and he's to this day still makes fun of that notion.
That's fucking, by the way, I would just be riding that bus. I wouldn't even do his spots. I'd just be drinking on that bus going from club to club. That would be the funnest fucking bus in the world. Be a great
bus if it would, like, instead of us jumping in cabs or there weren't Ubers back then or the subway, you got the comedy, you got a couple of buses crossing town taking the comedy. What would that take? Right? Oh. Now, yesterday, the fantasy was I would set up a podcast studio space with producers and lighting and a changeable background, and I would allow comics to come in who are at a certain level. That's the only thing that gets hard. How do you determine who can and who can't? But I'm always like, how can comics give back? Because if you look at like musicians, you ever see like Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and it's Paul McCartney on stage with Bob Dylan, and they're playing this song and that, like Mick Jagger's there. You go, these people are so supportive. And you do see that in the podcast community. But for the most part, comics are not that. They're not going to, that's why I asked you earlier, you found this guy, are you going to help the guy? Are you going to elevate the guy? So when I was in that documentary, I'll bring it back to me personally, and it can come back to if someone's being canceled or a comic's in trouble. It gives you the ammunition, the comics and the comedy community, to take that person down. So even if it's not true at all, you can go, well, I know the guy. I believe that he did it or she did it. I believe it. So that documentary gave people ammunition to say, I don't like the guy.
That was it's so that documentary is so fucking interesting. I watched it when it came out, and I recently watched a couple clips, but it's just so. There's so much loaded in that.
Yeah, why is it interesting? First of all,
it's interesting because you were 100% an open book. You gave them complete access to all your emotions, all your thoughts, all the things we think inside but don't say out loud. You thought inside and said out loud. Like, it's so easy. And by the way, now it's even more. The clip I just watched the other day was the Stephen Wright clip, and that's even more fascinating because when I watched it for the first time, I had never ever experienced what you were experiencing, and what you were experiencing was a ton of heat. Like, I'm talking, the industry was Orny Adams day, and they were asking you what flavor cake you wanted for anything. You had the most You had the most powerful manager in the business representing you, and you had the biggest comic in the world putting you in his documentary. And so as they're filming you, and that heat was so fucking intense. I'd never experienced anything like that. I still haven't, but I've experienced the part where you say something reckless, like, oh, and where the fuck's, like, I've done that. Because when you get a little heat, you get a little belief in yourself, and you're like, yeah, fuck you, I'm here. How about everyone just pay attention to me for a second? I busted my ass to get here, and but Barry Katz, what a fucking guy. It's just like Barry to fucking come in and by the way, that's the other part, is like, people don't know, Barry. That's not like a stranger that just walked in.
Yeah.
It's a guy very intimately, who knows a lot about you.
Yeah.
And I watched that recently, and I so empathized with your statement, because I've done that. Where you're like, and what's he doing now? And they're like, he's directing. He just won an Oscar. And you're like,
right.
You're like, okay. Well, fucking, can we not put that in the movie, please?
Here's how unaware I was. I don't think I saw anything wrong with that. Like, I was just like, I was a young guy, because to me, success was something else. And in awe of Stephen Wright growing up, for sure. The funny thing is that this thing, people still watch this, and I don't know why. I wish they would release the original version of this. I thought it was more even. They showed more clips of me doing stand-up, so you could form an opinion whether I was funny or not. It showed me in a U-Haul packing it up and going off to Los Angeles, where I got a huge deal with Warner Brothers Television for my own sitcom. But people watch it, and they still, first of all, people are so dumb. They think saw you in the new Seinfeld thing. It's like, it's not even in HD. It's not even filling the rectangle on the screen, you dumb asses. Seinfeld looks 12. Do you think maybe it's released years later? And who do you think you are? What an asshole. And I sit there and I go, I'm the asshole. Bill Cosby is in this documentary.
Yeah.
And I'm still the asshole.
Chris Rock pulls him aside. He's like, we just watched Bill Cosby. He's the most genius. Right? And and by the way, they also, sidebar, he shits on Gary Valentine.
By the way, executive produced by Harvey Weinstein. And I'm still the asshole. Do you understand? I might be the only one in this documentary that hasn't been to prison.
Wait, how did you? That's crazy. Oh,
but people, I'm still the asshole because I said I believed in myself.
This is before reality television.
Yes.
This is before everything.
But people are watching it now, still forming the same opinion. They just don't understand editing. They don't understand the producers will go, hey, Bert, wouldn't it be funny if you said Seinfeld's not that funny, or you don't think you think you're funnier than Bill Cosby or whatever? Like, wouldn't it be natural as a comedian to go, I'm funnier than Cosby? I mean, why wouldn't you? The only reason you're getting up on stage, people are getting up on stage right now thinking they're funnier than us and they're younger than us, and they should think that. Yeah. You should want to take out the big person and have that confidence. So when you were telling the stories earlier about your father and these sports analogies, I'll tell you where the road diverges. And that is, sports is quantitative, okay? Yeah. You can point to right field and you can knock it out of the park. And if it goes out of the park, it's a home run, and you can't deny that. Yeah. In comedy, if you don't like the person, you're just not going to laugh. Even it doesn't matter how funny it is. Yep. And you can say, it's not funny. I don't like them. I don't like them.
I've had those people at my show cross their arms in the front row and decide not to laugh. And you're like, huh? Why would you have that energy? And that's just what they want. That's what they fucking want.
Yeah, they want to be there to troll you and put you down. And that's why, like, I don't know what I was going to say, but it's
that documentary was such, it's such.
Do you think it helped me or hurt me in the long run? Overall,
I think it helped you overall. I think it. Well,
really, my career could be worse.
Wait, do you feel like it hurt you?
I think it's done so many things. I can't believe I'm still talking about it. I mean, after it came out,
when I shot Secret Time, you released a special.
Takes the Third.
Yeah, what was it? I remember.
We shoot this in Santa Ana. Is this what we're talking about?
What?
The special.
I was getting ready to shoot Secret Time, and it must have been 2017.
Oh, okay. More than loud, yeah.
And I remember talking to you about your special. I loved your fucking special. But I think it's like, I think something like that, I think everything builds who you are. I think everything is, there's things I massively regret that are out there that not even just, I mean, there's just so much.
Really?
I mean, yeah, like just anything. I mean, the fact I've overshared with my relationships with comics in the industry that were negative. And the fact that I didn't need to say any of that, I could have just never said a fucking word.
Right. Another reason why I haven't done podcasts, because I'm afraid, of saying things or oversharing.
I overshare a lot. And that's what the one cool thing about this is that if there's anything you don't like, we'll take it out.
No.
And so,
keeping everything, including the names of those 3 people that screwed Bert over.
I remember when we used to do Rogan back in the day, it was live. So there's 25 podcasts I did that are just me high as fuck with no recollection of what I said, just going home the next morning and being like, okay. But there's little things that I think my personality is, especially on podcasts, how I've represented myself has changed in so many different ways, where you're doing the thing that you said, where the producer says, wouldn't it be funny if you said you were funnier than Seinfeld? Well, I've done that on podcasts where maybe that's the big stamp that everyone sees for a while, and you got to kind of outgrow it and go, yeah, that was a bit we did. It's not, I mean, I don't want it to define who I fucking am.
Yeah.
But you just got to kind of look past those and just keep driving forward.
But I would argue, and I told this to Bobby Lee too, the reason you're successful is because you are an open book.
Well, that's why I liked, that's the thing that made me love you in that documentary was, and I kind of was like, it kind of made me look at Seinfeld a little differently. Cause I was like, why would that? He did kind of show shitty sides of you that weren't cool, but I identified with every single one of them. I identified with every single one of them because as a comic, you just shared every fucking thought you had. You did not edit at all. You gave them 100% access, and that's the only way to fucking. And by the way, it's a documentary. How many documentaries have been made about stand-up? It's a documentary people still talk about today. Mm-hmm. And there's been doing documentaries forever. But I think that I don't think anyone. Look, if they're watching today thinking it was made today, they're a fucking moron. But I think anyone who watched it when we watched it now looks at it and goes, oh, I can't wait to see what he's doing. You know what I mean?
No, it's interesting because that special More Than Loud that you liked.
I loved it.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
It's now on YouTube. Okay,
that's great.
I bought it back from Showtime. I wanted to sell it to Netflix. I wanted to sell it to other places during the pandemic. I go, this is going to be easy, right? Aren't they going to need content? We can't. Yeah. It's a year and a half of being shut down. Nobody wanted it. So my team said, put it up on YouTube. I go, for free? They go, let's just see. You can always take it down. I put it up on YouTube expecting, I did it in conjunction with or at the same time as the Marin podcast. So I was going to do the Marin podcast and put this up to give people a point of reference because I knew we were going to get into it, Marin and I. Yeah. I knew it. And I put it up. I go, I just want to get, I remember this.
Guys like me and you drive Mark Maron crazy.
Absolutely. To this day, he loved me for 2 days after that podcast. He's back to hating me again.
He said to me the other day, I love the color of this. I really love the color.
So look at that. I put it up trying to get 25,000 views. Look at what it's at.
1.5 million. That's fucking awesome, dude.
For me, that's a big deal. That's as viral. See, I put this on YouTube a few months ago, hoping to get 25,000 views. So I just put the one before that on, takes the third 2 days ago, and it's already up to 30,000. For me, these are big numbers.
But for anyone, they're big numbers.
Yeah, I mean,
they're big numbers. This is a great fucking special. This is a great fucking special.
Well, there's some great discussion under there about, like, somebody just posted, find the comment from a few minutes ago. Somebody said,
where did you shoot that?
Right here in the El Portal Theater. Somebody, you got to go to the most recent one. I love the people that tip you. Look at that, $50.
No.
Yeah, $50.
Wait, you can make money on YouTube?
Oh, yeah, people
like that.
This is crazy, Bert. People just Venmo me and PayPal me and go, thanks for the laugh. Like, ridiculous amounts of money.
Shut the fuck up.
Like more than $50.
Look at this. Every fucking comment is positive.
Well,
see, this is what I'm saying, is that anyone who saw you in that Seinfeld documentary that watches this special, and I watched that special, and I was like, man, this is a fucking great goddamn special. I remember hitting you up and saying, where did you shoot it? Like, I asked you a bunch of things. The first thing you said is, shoot it where you have fans. That was the only thing I really remember out of that conversation.
God, I give good advice. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you said shoot it where you have fans, and I was like, and you're like, you do not want them to pay per a room. You want your fans to be there, so make sure you have fans. And I remember saying to you, I go, I'm doing Philly, and you're like, can you fill it? And I was like, I've already sold it. And you're like, you're gonna be great.
Because I'll tell you the story. Because this gets back to comedian. There's one that was this one. There's another $5. Thanks, person, for $5. Somebody says something, you'll see in a minute, about, I saw you in Comedian and I couldn't watch you for years after that. Comedian's the documentary.
By the way, this is where I get my feelings hurt as I start reading it, and then one's like, "This guy's so much better than that."
I love it.
Bert Kreischer, and I go, "Wow!" I don't read my comments. I don't read any of my comments. But the other day, I read a comment. It was someone shitting on someone, and I was like, "He'll find it."
Yeah.
I was someone shitting on someone, and I was like, "Whoa, oh my god, what is going on here?" And I got into the comments thinking I've got to be safe.
Yeah.
I'm not even mentioned. And then someone wrote, "Oh, Bert Kreischer is going to have his feelings hurt about this."
Yeah.
Because it did upset me. Yeah. And I was like, "Motherfucker, I'm in someone else's comments."
Yeah. And then why at you? It's today. It's today, dude. It's today. It's towards the top. I saw it this morning. I comment on every single one because I really appreciate that he's got to go back up.
Go all the way to the top.
So I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you why I gave you that advice. When I was shooting Takes the Third, which is a special I just put up. It's the one before this one.
Is that up right now?
It's up. I just put it up. Yeah, on Christmas. Look at that one. Why isn't this shit on Netflix? But somebody said something about I couldn't watch you for years. So there's some interesting discussion that goes on. I don't know. Maybe he'll find it. Maybe he won't. So here's what happened. I hope you like that, by the way. Like and subscribe. That helps my algorithm. And tip me. If that's Bert's account, give me a nice big tip. So when I did, this is how you have to take control of your career. And I could tell you several stories like this, including how I got on the Tonight Show for the first time. But I'll tell you this story about my special because I just remembered it. When I was taping Takes the Third, we were setting up, we had production meetings, and they were doing about 6 specials that weekend. Everyone was going to use the same camera crews, the same stage. We'd have different backdrops, the same director. Okay. And then it came down to, they were going to release the tickets. And I said, "What are we selling the tickets for?" And they said, "Oh, no, we give the tickets away." I said, no, what? I have enough fans in Southern California. Yeah. I've been doing Irvine Improv, Brea Improv, the Ice House. I go, I can sell 500 tickets for a special. I know it. They go, "We're not even set up to sell tickets. We just do this mass giveaway."
Who's producing this? Tell me off air.
I found it. It's in the other stand-up specials comments.
Oh, it is? Okay, Thanks. So what does it say?
Orny's one of the funniest guys, period. I will never understand that 2002 documentary. It's not like they were amateur videographers. They knew damn well you could make people look good or bad with editing. Orny should have taken over the world after making that, but I know for me, it took years before I was willing to listen to him again, and then saw he was great. What the fuck?
That's a nice compliment.
That's 7 hours ago.
And that's by
Pajama Person. Pajama
Hedgeman TV.
Hedgeman TV.
Yeah. And I respond to all the comments. And then some people, they go, it's like Gilbert Godfrey and Bill Burr had a baby. And then I always write underneath it, I don't think those two are even sleeping together. Why do you have to make a comparison? How about I'm just Orny Adams? Yeah. And if I am a little Gilbert Godfrey, maybe it's because I'm Jewish. If I'm a little Bill Burr, maybe it's because we're both from Boston.
Yeah.
It's like, who gives a shit? Like, why do you have to compare?
Look, I've never, I can see influences in people that'll be distracting at times, but I don't see that with you.
I get Louis Black. It's like, I didn't study these. I studied Woody Allen. I studied Sam Kinison.
The only thing
how young
I'll give you, oh my God.
Yeah. People think this just came out too. They go, "Boy, you keep getting younger." Like, people don't understand. So here's what happened.
I have notes.
So here's the thing, right? So they said, so the meeting's wrapping up and they go, "All right, so tickets go on sale Tuesday. It's with this code, Orny special, whatever, right?" And I said, "What if I want to get some comps?" They said, "Yeah, just let us know ahead of time how many comps you want." I said, 500. They go, "What?" I go, "I want 500 comps." They go, "What are you talking about?" I go, "I'm going to give them away to my fans. I'll do an email blast to my fans." And they go, "What? No one's ever done this before."
You got to tell me who's producing this.
They go, "This has never been done." How? What? Mass confusion, papers flying, tears, chaos in the room. Because I'm thinking outside the box. And they said, "We'll give you 3 days to fill the place." I within an hour, I sent them a list with 500 people. And that's why if you look at this special, there's people holding up foam fingers that say Orny Adams, wearing T-shirts from my shows. Like, they're fans. They're fans. And that's why this special works. That's why the last special, Takes the Third, works, because you have to take control of everything.
I would have never let them. I would have. Yeah, I take almost too much control because
no such thing.
I'm pretty neurotic about little things like the soles of my shoes. Like I don't like mirrored stages. I hate mirrored stages.
Yeah.
And you're shooting another one. When are you shooting the next one?
Well, so that's the thing. Now the plan is, my team says, you know what you should do? Because so-and-so did this and so-and-so did this. You should spend $80,000 of your own dollars, shoot it, and put it up on YouTube for free. And I'm like, that doesn't seem like a smart business plan, but that's what it's come down to.
Well, here's the argument. So like I'll take a look at Stavros, Ari, Schultz.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is big? I think Giannis did it. Shane Gillis, Mark Norman.
But I'll be late to the party.
No.
Yeah.
No, they're all doing their own thing and putting it up, and they're really in control of their careers.
Yeah.
Stavros probably more than, I mean, I'm only very acutely aware of Stavi because I watched it all happen. Like I fell in love with the guy when they were on Come Town. He makes me giggle really hard. Him and Nick and Adam, that group made me giggle really hard. And I watched him do all his stuff, and I saw where he was performing and what he was doing. And I watched him open for Bobby. And then when he released his, he took control of his career in a fucking insane way. And now he's selling more tickets in Boston than probably 95% of the comics that are going to Boston. And he's not from Boston.
Yeah.
So like I watched that. There's nothing wrong with that, man. Good shit is good shit. If putting it anywhere, just getting an opportunity. I was just talking to a friend who was deciding whether or not he wanted to shoot it on Netflix or HBO Max. And he was going back and forth, and we were texting, and he said, what do you think? And I was like, my advice is fucking pointless. Because I really don't know I don't know where Halston's going to find his materials. I just know that the guy I was texting with is fucking hilarious. And so I wrote back, you are absolutely hilarious. Anywhere you put it, people will find it. You're that talented. So just put it up wherever the fuck it needs to go up. Like, don't listen to my advice. Right. Whatever the fuck you're going to do it because it's going to be great. You're that good. And I'd say the same for you. Dude, there are very few specials that I watched and I went, wow, fuck, that's a great special. Like, that's a legit. That special, the one before this,
More Than Loud.
Wait, I just remembered as the blue special. It had a lot of blue,
the white pants and the blue.
I love the blueness in it. I love the angles. There's so much I loved about that special. Sebastian's when he's in the teal fucking sweater. Yeah. I remember watching that and going like, motherfucker, this is good. This is great.
Isn't it great when comedy's great?
Jackie Cation's last special. Jackie Cation's last fucking special is so fucking brilliant.
Huh.
That you go, this is where I'd say, I say this like cautiously. I'm not throwing fucking shots fired or anything, but I will say one of the benefits someone like you or Jackie or someone who's been doing it longer that maybe has been underrepresented in the media and hasn't had the Netflix specials or the Showtime specials or that one of the benefits is when you put something out, it's fucking good. You know how to do stand-up comedy. You've been doing it your whole adult life. So that's why that's getting 1.25 million views. And that's why the next one you shoot, I would argue, put a little money into it, make it look beautiful. I would shoot it and then I'd weigh your options.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to YouTube for the content right now.
Listen, if this thing is seen, a few million times and it starts selling a lot of tickets for me on the road, I get it.
I don't notice if you notice this, but I am aging. And for the first time, I'm like, stop. I'm going to fix this. Thank God we've got this new sponsor, Lumen. Lumen is skincare brand for men with products that keep your face clean while helping reduce the signs of aging. One of the best bundles they have is the Anti-Fatigue Essential Bundle, which includes Dark Circle Defense, a daily dose of the best under-eye cream for men that smooths out your crow's feet and softens fine lines, all while soothing those tired, puffy eyes, brightening your dark circles, and fights the signs of premature aging with this must-have addition to your men's skincare routine. The Charcoal Cleanser. You can stop using that harsh, dirty bar of soap on your face. Lumen's Skin Detoxifying Charcoal Cleanser removes grime while helping keep your skin's pH balance. This exfoliating formula can help oily skin, remove dead skin cells and excess skin, and help repair damaged skin. Manzi, does this sound like something you want? A moisturizing balm. Built to target dullness and dryness, your face will feel more hydrated and look more refreshed than ever. The exfoliating rub. This is what I love. Non-irritating, less abrasive exfoliant with the combination of charcoal and green tea deeply cleanses skins, removes dead skin cells, and brightens uneven skin. Thousands trust Lumen with their skin because it just works. It has over 5,000 five-star reviews. Lumen is so confident that their product works, they're offering a 30-day free trial. Getting started is easy. Go to lumenskin.com, take their 2-minute online quiz, and they will recommend the right product for you and your specific case. Bertcast listeners will get a free gift with the code BERT. Working long hours, traveling a lot can make you look tired. Lumen can help reduce fine lines and eye bags.
I will say this about the internet and these opportunities to self-produce. It has saved my career.
Yeah. It saved all of ours.
I would be nowhere.
Hold on. It saved all of ours. Like I was at the bottom. My bottom of 6 years ago, 5 years ago?
Come on, really?
Dude, fired from Travel Channel.
Is that still on the Travel Channel? I'm having a little Snickers.
No, Travel Channel's gone. I know. I think they still.
You know, I had a show on the Travel Channel too.
For real?
America After Dark. Yeah, years ago. In fact, I was on when I was living in New York City, and you could only get the Travel Channel like north of 34th Street, and I live south of 34th Street, so I had to go up to my sister's house to watch my show on her cable channel. Yeah, that's how early I was on.
Travel Channel.
I was on Netflix, by the way. I was on Netflix back. My first CD DVD, Path of Most Resistance, was on Netflix before Netflix was even Netflix. They reached out to me through my website and said, we want to buy physically 10 of your CD DVDs. I'm trying to find that email, and they paid full price. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, I just made $200. I was so excited.
This is I got fired from Travel Channel. I was supposed to do the Funny or Die tour. I got pulled off that.
Why?
Because I was making I think mostly the tickets to the shows I was on weren't selling, so they canceled those shows. But I wasn't a name. I wasn't going to sell those tickets at all.
Right.
I didn't have any money coming in. Leanne was redoing our house. It was just a moment where you're just like, what the fuck? And
this is inspiring. How long ago was this?
6 years ago. When did The Machine get posted? 2017. And so I want to say it was today. It was today.
What? This is the anniversary of the lowest point of your life?
28th.
Yeah.
This is the anniversary of the lowest point of your life.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Tomorrow is.
Wow.
Tomorrow is. That's crazy. Yeah. I worked.
Look at your face.
I worked Oxnard. I remember.
Oh my God! Anytime you work Oxnard, it's the lowest point of your life.
I love Oxnard.
Did you see Whitney Cummings got in trouble for like shitting on Oxnard?
I fucking love Oxnard. I don't know how she doesn't know what Oxnard is. She thought Oxnard is Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
She thought that's what it was. So she was making fun of it, not realizing it is a predominantly agricultural community where it's not the people she thought she was making fun of.
But she didn't even show up for the show.
Oh, she had to cancel the show. I think Bobby Lee took her weekend.
I would have taken it. I love that place.
I love Oxnard.
Beautiful club.
I was getting paid $25,000 for New Year's Eve. $25,000.
I remember this, and I thought, I can't believe they're paying Bert that much.
I sold 0 tickets.
I remember that too.
I sold so little tickets. Tom was fat shaming me. We were doing a weight loss competition with Rogan that I was going to lose. I knew my beard was getting shaved off, and I had discovered a couple things that I found very insightful. I learned how to edit. Right before then, I was doing vlogs.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned in doing vlogs how to edit, and I learned how to add music, and I learned how to loop music, and I learned how to do that. And then I started making posts on Instagram that I was just jazzed up a little bit.
Yeah.
But they were jazzed up enough where they looked professional.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember The Rock retweeted
cool.
me or commented me, DM'd me. And then
how many people at the lowest point in their life can say The Rock is retweeting them?
And and then that was at Christmas.
Yeah.
And then Rogan called me and was like, dude, these videos are fucking badass. Those 2 moments, I was like, I sold 0 tickets. I had done Oxnard. I was driving back. I was listening to Creedence Clearwater Revival. And I said, I'm going to take charge of my career. I am not listening to anyone anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing any of the rules.
Good.
I'm going to make content that I find good. I'm going to put it on Instagram. I'm going to promote my shows, and I'm going to take control of my career. And one of the first things I did is I started uploading clips to my YouTube from my special. It was illegal. I didn't realize what I was doing was not allowed.
Mm-hmm.
I was just uploading the whole special to YouTube.
Yeah, yeah.
And on this day, it's got 50 million views right now.
Yeah, just hit 50.
50 million?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Now I feel bad about myself. Turns out the 29th is going to be the lowest point of my life, too. I was excited about 1.5 million. Thanks, Bert. And I was going to say, if I may, it's almost as if you went back to Bert Kreischer working at Boston.
I had to.
You became the guy who wasn't going to play by the rules. It's as if you got lost for all those years and you came back to your dad's advice and you were like, I'm not going to take this crap. I'm going to play by my own rules. How is Joe Rogan not selling on that podcast in 2017? You're not selling tickets based on that?
It was really Rogan dependent. Is a lot of us would have to hit up Rogan and be like, yo, can you repost my tweet about my show in Portland?
Oh, that's
and then
cool.
you'd move some tickets. But also people didn't know me as a stand-up. They knew me as Travel Channel, Joe Rogan's friend.
Yeah.
So I was like Steve Ranella or fucking Alton Brown or anyone that would have been, or Bourdain. I was just a guy that was on Travel Channel. They didn't know me as a stand-up per se. And that clip went viral. And I remember going and then doing Rogan the next 2 days. And then I started selling tickets. And then I started every idea I had that I thought it was good. Like I started doing this thing called the Waitstaff Raffle. And then that went viral. And then I was like, fuck, I'm just going to shoot everything, cover everything, post everything. And I'm going to self-promote. And I remember people going, I remember hearing a guy I thought was a really good friend make fun of me. And he's like, I'm a real comic. I'm not going to fucking put on a Speedo to sell tickets. And I remember a guy I liked that I thought we were really good friends saying that. That was recent, by the way. And I was like,
who was that?
And I was like, edit it out, obviously.
It's interesting because everything has to be edited out in this podcast.
Well, I would never, because I like the guy.
I know.
He just doesn't like me.
No, but I remember seeing you make these videos. I think you're the reason we have to go, hey, everybody, I'll be at the Jimmy Kimmel Comedy Club New Year's Eve. Come see me. Yeah. Like you were doing these videos and it's interesting.
I had an idea where I said, I want to do a dance video. I was watching hip hop dance videos with my daughters. So I pitched for Sober October one year. We should do hip hop dance.
Yeah.
And everyone shit on it. And they're like, this is the dumbest fucking thing in the world. I said, well, I'm going to learn a hip hop dance. So I learned a hip hop dance for $1,200. I hired a girl named D Glazer and I did this dance and I learned how to do this dance. And I posted it.
I like when she grabs her junk.
She's great. And so I did this dance.
That's funny.
I was sweating so bad that day.
A lot of back sweat going on.
And so I did this video and I put my tour dates at the end and it sold out all my tour dates.
Wow. So
immediately I was like, okay.
So there's Bert with his shirt off. I want to ask you another question.
Yeah.
Are there any days, how do you feel about your body?
That's so funny. I never really thought, I didn't grow up as a fat kid. I hear there's kids that grew up as fat kids always see themselves as fat kids. I was always in shape, so I always see myself in shape. Like I always find the thing.
You're the opposite of me.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, I like the shoes.
And so I put all my tour dates.
That's great.
And then those all sold out.
Amazing.
Those all sold out the day I posted this. The day I posted this video.
Shit. Wow.
So then the next one I did was and then I got kind of screwed in this because I set it up so that I was like, put me in bigger venues, put me wherever you want. I'll sell the tickets. I can do this.
Yeah.
And so the next one I did was a marching band one, where I hired a marching band for like, I think $3,000 to come to my backyard. And I was like, and no preparation. I was like, I just put on a Speedo and I was like,
yeah,
what song do you guys know? And they were like, we know Rubber Band Man. That was the only one
I
they all
don't even
knew
know that
together.
song.
And so we did Rubber Band Man. They just played it. And I've directed it in the moment. I said, all right, I'll be lifting weights, and then I'll walk out and someone throw me the marching band stick, and then the guy will come out with the drums behind me, and then you guys will be around my pool. This is the making of.
Yeah, I mean, you're a management team wet dream because.
Well, no, I'm not a wet dream because I'm actually a nightmare.
Oh,
because I'm so I just had these guys sit around the pool and we did it, and then it sold out all those tickets.
That's great.
And so then I started going, okay, so for added shows I'll do smaller things, but for big announcements, like we just did the cruise, the fully loaded cruise, and then for fully loaded, I was like, oh, this will be perfect because we were in arenas and stadiums. Yeah. I was like, we can always add tickets. You can always add tickets there. You never sold out.
Right.
So I was like, let's bring a whole production team with us. So we shot during the day. The editors would sleep during the day. They'd work all night, and in the mornings they'd post. And we set record attendance in so many of the venues.
So you're shooting the shows and then releasing clips.
Just fun, whatever's fun. Like
that's what I
working
want.
Out. Yeah,
this is what I want.
Dude,
because there's so many moments that are unscripted. In fact, I have a tab on my YouTube, unscripted moments that are just funny. That just happen spontaneously, and it makes people realize when you watch a comedy special, you have a beginning A and you have the Z, the end, and you got to get there.
Yeah.
But when you see live comedy, you're gonna see shit. Like, don't watch stand-up comedy on these streamers in YouTube and think that's what happens at clubs.
No.
It's or theaters or wherever you're playing. It's beautiful. Like, that's why it's really important to put those unscripted moments.
Well, that's the beauty of just shooting content. But you kind of like, when you said I do it all myself, I did it all myself for the longest time, and I don't miss it because I would get stressed out. Like when you did the fucking, no, it's got to be this, it's got to be that. I used to get so stressed out because I would do it all myself. But I loved the making something. The making something was the funnest fucking part. Yeah. Is you make something cool. But so like we did vlogs, we've done everything. Now everything's kind of out of my hands.
Are there any days you don't want to take your shirt off? You're just like, I'm just not feeling it today. I don't feel good about myself. No.
I love the energy of taking your shirt off.
Do you know, I don't think I've ever had my shirt off in public. I don't.
For real?
Yeah, I don't. At the beach, I don't take.
No.
Yes.
For real?
Yeah, pool party. Like, you'll see, if I ever go to a pool party, I just never get in. I'm really yeah.
Oh, I'm so Florida like that.
Yeah.
Like I love being naked. I was a naked dude my whole fucking life.
Were you one of those? Naked. Were you a dirty kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, dirty naked kid.
I wore Speedos up until I was like 12. Like that's what I swam.
Spider-Man.
No.
Speedos.
The Speedos, yeah.
Oh.
Let's get 12. I just wear a Speedo and I'd be in a Speedo. I put on a Speedo in the morning and we go fucking play.
Yeah.
And I just like the idea of like being free. I still love it. And then when I was 11 or 12, that I remember the first time I got shamed for wearing a Speedo. Like kids were making fun of me. I think it's the end of the innocent kid I was. And now all of a sudden I had to start following the rules. And so I wore sun breeches. Sun breeches?
No, Sundex. What was that?
Type in sun breeches. They were fucking bad. I wouldn't mind a pair of sun breeches now.
So this is you being defiant and being a rebel.
Sun breeches. Sun breeches were fucking
No, I don't
awesome.
know those. There was another sun something that up north we wore. I want to get back to, those are cool.
Sun breeches were cool as fuck.
I'd wear those. I just bought a pair of retro pony sneakers.
They weren't elastic waistband. They were buttoned waistband.
Buttoned waistbands don't look good on me.
They don't look good on anyone.
Yeah, except surfers.
Yeah.
So
surfers.
I want to get back to Oxnard because what's interesting about Oxnard, which I do like, I just want to make sure that's clear. And what's interesting is
everyone's terrified of Oxnard.
I'm scared. Jeez, I don't want to get canceled in Oxnard.
My wife's in Oxnard right now.
Yeah, I mean, I got what Whitney was trying to do. She was trying to be funny, but tonally it may have missed. And nowadays, if you miss like that, Like she was getting like death threats. I did her podcast right around that time, and she's like, "Don't mention Oxnard." I'm like, "What happened?" I don't know. It's like, what's your drama?
I think she was. It's the reason I don't talk about like politics is she wasn't being a dick. She was honestly, she was misinformed in what that city was. She thought she was punching up, but in fact, she's a wealthy woman making fun of what, and I read it in the comments, what is a very working class city. Right. And so I think that.
But those are the best cities for comedy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Philly, Boston, Cleveland, Omaha, Detroit. Those are like the greatest fucking cities for comedy. You know, I mean, they say no. Stanhope said this a long time ago, but Oxnard's a great. I love that club. I love that club. I ran my hour every time I was about to do an hour. I go out there.
I think some people get angry at Oxnard because it's such a big room. It's hard to fill the tickets, but that's not Oxnard's fault.
No, that's Levity Live's fault.
Or it's the comics' fault if you don't sell the tickets, if you don't hire the marching band.
Hard. That's a lot of tickets. Those rooms,
tickets.
That and stand up live are a lot of fucking tickets.
But I hate when comics get in trouble because you have to be able to take risks. You have to be able to get out there, and like it shouldn't, your life shouldn't be on the line because of it.
I think I don't think. I mean, I read some of the comments, but I don't.
What?
I don't think outrage is. I don't think outrage is as genuine as it was. Like, I think it's easier to get outraged. It's easier to get outraged, post it, and then almost like forget about it than it was. Like, I remember genuine outrage was like the Janet Jackson nipple slip when people had to write a letter to fucking. I mean, that was genuine out. I mean, that was like, I remember going to places and hearing people talk about that,
right?
Because your kids were watching, and all of a sudden it's a girl's tit, and like.
But the trend is, and this is why it makes comedy harder and harder, is everybody's outraged about everything. Everybody, their flight's delayed, and instead of just calling somebody and going, I can't believe it's delayed, the solution now is to pick up the computer monitor, and throw it at the gate attendant.
I watched a comic. I saw that. Do you see that lady that did that?
Yeah.
Fucking lunatic. I get scared. I haven't been on a flight, knock on wood. I haven't been on a flight where there's been a drunk passenger who loses his shit on it, but that scares the fuck out of me. For real?
I have. When we were coming out of COVID, I was not on a single flight where somebody wasn't taken off. It was
Are you serious?
Weekly. And I'm sitting there going, one lady couldn't believe she had a middle seat. She threw a tantrum and demanded blah, 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 blah. They threw her off. And I'm sitting there going, lady, you don't understand how hard it is flying when everything's on schedule. You're now never getting to that destination. Like sometimes I'm booked first class and they're like, we bumped you down to coach middle.
That's happened to me. That's happened to me.
And I just go, fine, just get me there. I'm going to sit there and shut the hell up. Who cares? Like what? It's 5 hours out of your goddamn life. Like,
dude,
like these people are acting like petulant little kids.
I dropped a suitcase on a dude's face one time.
On a face? Oh, you mean when you're, yeah.
This is the weird, I showed up late to the, not late to the fight, but I was at the bar drinking.
Yeah.
It was in Canada. I'm flying Edmonton to Phoenix to LA.
Okay.
And so I have a steel, Rimowa.
Yeah, Rowenta?
Is it Rimowa roller bag?
Okay.
So it's steel.
Yeah.
So first of all, that means it's a little slicker than the other ones.
Yeah.
So I put it up in the thing, and I think I got it up, but what I don't realize is I haven't put it all the way in, and it slides and lands on a dude's face and breaks his glasses and almost breaks his nose.
Oh shit!
And he is livid, rightfully so. What I don't know is he has already been fighting with the flight attendant.
Oh, good.
Before I got on the plane.
Yeah.
And now what he does is he accuses the flight attendant of collaborating with me and getting me to throw that on his face.
Yeah.
And I'm lost. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
And he goes, you're in collusion. I want her arrested. And I'm like, so I go up to the flight attendant and I go, listen, I'm worried I'm going to get cut off because I'm drunk.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know what the fuck. She goes, I've had problems with this passenger. We are going to have him detained in Phoenix. You didn't do anything wrong. Don't worry. So I sit down. I said to the guy, I go, hey man, I'm really sorry. I'm not in collusion. And I said, and I go, please let me pay for your glasses.
I don't even know what collusion means.
Yeah. I go, are we playing poker here?
Collusion. What is this, Scrabble? Triple word score? Dude, settle down with the words. Speak to me like a human. I just dropped a suitcase on your effing face, you idiot. Collusion.
He then says, I can't afford his glasses. They're so expensive, I can't afford them. What he doesn't know is merch sales in Canada, in Edmonton, in the early, in like 2010, were fucking bananas.
I still have that cash.
I had that cash.
Yeah.
I had that cash forever.
Because Canada, get your shit together and get your dollar equal with our dollar. I have a bunch of this Canadian.
I had $6,000 in Canadian cash in my pocket. In my pocket.
Oh, yeah.
$6,000 in my pocket as I'm talking to this guy. He goes, you couldn't afford these glasses. Now, everyone in first class is looking at watching this.
Yeah.
And I'm drunk, but I'm also like trying to make sure that I play this right because I'm drunk. And I go, sir, all I'll say is I'm sitting in first class as well. We're both in first class. And so I definitely.
And I'm ticketed first class, not bumped up.
And I'm not saying I'm rich, but I definitely can afford a pair of reading glasses.
Yeah.
And he goes, try. I said, give me a price. And he goes, $1,500. And I pull out $6,000 in cash. Yeah. And I count it off for him.
Did you really?
I counted off. I go, here's $1,500 for your problems.
I would have negotiated.
And I gave it to
I would have said 12.
Gave it to him. I turned around and the whole first class cabin was like, did that dude just pull out 6,000 loonies and crack them off to this fucking Canuck as if we're at Tim Hortons and I got his coffee? And so I sit back around. The flight attendant gives me a cocktail. She's like, you don't have to give him money. And I was like, no, I felt bad. I gave him money. Then the guy comes up and he's like, they're not $1,500.
Oh, really? He was honest?
I said, really? He goes, it's $400 glasses. And I went, oh, okay. And he gives me most of my money back. And he goes, I'll just keep $400 and that'll pay for the glasses. I went, okay. So we get off.
I would have said, keep the $1,500. You're going to need it for bail.
He doesn't know he's about to get arrested.
Yeah.
So I get off the plane. I get off in Phoenix and the cops grab me because I look like, and the flight attendant says like, it's not him. It's not him. The guy sneaks past me. And with his wife, he doesn't look like he's the one that's supposed to be getting arrested. He sneaks past me, and then the cops start interrogating me, and they're like, what happened? And I was like, I got to be honest with you. I didn't really see what the fuck happened with anyone.
Yeah.
He wasn't that bad on the flight, and I dropped my thing on his face, broke his glasses, and I think I broke his nose.
Yeah.
So I go, if he's upset, and then I just went to the bar and left. I disappeared, ran into Felipe Esparza.
Huh.
Yeah. 2 seconds later, I ran into Felipe. I was like, dude, I just broke a dude's nose. He's like, oh. And
what year is this?
It was recent. It was probably when I was doing Rogan a lot. So probably 2012, 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was back in the day when you could sell tickets, but you could sell tickets in only a couple markets. And you could sell $20 tickets. You couldn't sell like a $35 ticket.
I think I'm still at that level.
$20 ticket is a great place to be.
Yeah.
Because you can sell you're not out of anyone's price range. Right. Everyone can afford a $20. Everyone can afford a $40 night out on a date. And with drinks, when the thing that really hurt me was when I got to $35 tickets and I audibly heard fans tell me I wasn't that funny.
Really? You weren't $35 funny? You were $20 funny?
It started with Tom.
I don't need the, oh, really?
I remember people coming up in the meet and greet and like, dude, thanks for keeping your ticket price reasonable. And I was like, oh, thanks. And they're like, your boy Tom is charging $30. Tell him he's not that fucking funny. And I was like, I'm definitely not going to call Tom and do that because I have a feeling that you're about to say that about me.
Right.
And then they said it about me. And then, Ari was like, when I started doing theaters, Ari got very fucking vocal with me personally about my ticket price. And he wanted to be he didn't want to be in control of my ticket price, but he was like.
Ari who? Shafir?
Yeah.
I didn't even know comics discussed our ticket prices. I don't even know how much my tickets are for New Year's Eve.
I can tell you they're probably.
I'm just grateful.
I bet you have a $100 ticket.
It's Ticketmaster.
It's New Year's Eve. Let's see when.
Isn't it amazing? As much as I like to just crap on my career and pretend I'm like a victim, to me, I think it's amazing. Oy, those are pictures of me. What is all that? Who picks this shit?
The internet.
The internet decided that picture on the left with me in a tie-dye. Nothing makes you look more middle-aged. All right, there's Jimmy Kimmel. Do it like a Saturday night. Yeah, there you go. Oh, New Year's Eve. They better be pricey New Year's.
They're going to at least be $50.
Because I'm there the Thursday, 29th and 30th, too. Does this air before then?
I don't know.
Look at every seat's open.
No. GA preferred seating. How big is that room?
39 in the back. What's the front?
79.
79. Let's get to the front. 59.
Those are 79.
That's reasonable for New Year's in
fuck
Vegas.
Yeah, you got New Year's in Vegas? Fuck yeah, it is.
This will sell out too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember last time I was there, it did well. They don't have you back if you don't do well.
Well, that's why that was my whole business plan, was just make sure the club was happy and do whatever I could to sell tickets. But more importantly, like, I'd hang out after. I'd hang out in the bar.
I bet the staff loved you.
Oh,
And you're probably one of those assholes that gives like a big tip, makes people like me look bad.
I do. I'm a pretty big tipper. Yeah. But I well, you know what I used to do? So like,
you'd pay for a party like Brian Regan?
No, well,
he used to pay for a party for the entire staff.
I would do. So I found that I remember getting bonus one time. My bonus was like $1,000. And I was like, well, I want to keep some of it for me. Right. But I want to tip the wait staff. And I was like, but $100 isn't going to make a splash. There's 10 people. Everyone gets $10. I mean, I'm sure they'll be like, oh, thanks. But it's not going to be like like back in the, and so I decided to do this thing called the wait staff raffle, where I would put in $100. I did it recently, and it was pretty sizable, but I'd put in $100 and then I'd pass a bucket around the audience. They'd put in money, and then we'd pull one name out of the staff, and then that person would walk with like $1,000, and that was a game changer.
But don't you think they then give it to all their friends?
So
they keep it?
So what I did so they started doing that, and I stopped doing it because I don't mind that I understand they all want the money, but the fun of it was giving someone a big present.
Yeah.
Giving someone a big moment where they got to not worry about money for a month or the things. And the things they would say were so moving. Like, one girl was like, I can pay for my diabetes medication now. And we're like, what? She's like, yeah, I'm a month behind, but now I can catch up. And so I really appreciate that. And you're like, whoa. One girl was like, I get to buy the expensive car seat. I'm pregnant. I'm having a baby. And now I get to go buy the nice car seat. Yeah. We were going to buy the cheap one. And I'm like, oh my God, like, it made a difference.
Yeah.
And then they started colluding, and they would it was always the cunty old waitress who was like, no fucking new people put your names in the thing. We deserve it. Like, it wasn't.
Oh, geez.
Oh, it got really nasty.
Wow.
And so what I did, I was in Madison, and I said to the staff, I'm going to give everyone in the staff $100. Everyone's getting $100 from me.
That's great.
That is so that you don't collude and split the money.
Yeah.
So no, you're getting $100 anyway.
That's really generous.
So then I gave everyone $100, and then I said, now we're going to do the wait staff raffle, and whoever wins it wins all of it.
Huh.
And the girl that won it just got dumped by her boyfriend. She had moved out to Madison with him. They moved in together, and then he kicked her out and fucking left, and she had to fucking move all the stuff out. And she didn't say any of that on stage. She was like, I'm going to buy it.
Oh, so the waitress comes up on stage
and accepts the money and tells everyone where she's going to spend it.
Oh, nice.
And we've had some good ones. The best one was this guy. I forget his name. And he said, he was a black dude, and he started crying. I was like, are you okay? And we were in Lexington, Kentucky. He goes, next week's my daughter's 13th birthday, and Georgia was 13 at the time. And I was like, wow. And he was like, now I get to be the father she thinks I am. I said, what? He goes, I didn't have enough money to buy her a present, let alone throw her a party. And now I'm going to throw her a party, and I'm going to get her what she wants. Yeah. And everyone starts crying, and everyone starts running $100 bills up to the guy and fucking loads them up. He walks like $2,700.
That's got to affect your merch sales after the show, though.
It definitely did.
Yeah.
It definitely did.
That's all I'd be thinking. Like, all right, hey, everybody, thanks for being generous, but let's remember, T-shirts are $30 in the lobby. All right.
That's the fucking best. Yeah, dude, I'm excited that you're going to do more stuff on YouTube, because that's where people are finding content. I find my content. I go HBO Max. I go Spectrum. I go Netflix.
Netflix is third.
Apple TV. No. Netflix for me is number one, but I watch everyone's special that comes out. I watch like the first 10 minutes of every special that comes out. Just to
what was the note?
Shoes.
Oh, shoes.
I'm having a hard time getting older wearing cool shoes.
No. You can always wear cool shoes.
But I know today we're going to Europe, and I thought, well, I want to bring sneakers with me because I like performing in sneakers.
Yeah.
And then I was like, or maybe I'll just get like a pair of like grown-up boots and wear those for the whole trip and be a grown-up.
No.
Like, do you buy a lot of sneakers or just a couple pairs?
I have fortunately companies have sent me a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So my garage is full of shoes I've never worn before.
Really? Me too. I have a ton.
Never.
I just got those from my bus driver. They're the LeBron James Fruity Pebbles.
Those are so cool.
They're really cool.
Yeah, I bought, when I started, I got some money in my career, I started buying shoes from the 80s, the old, like, retro.
You just said that, the ponies.
Yeah, I got the ponies, and then I got, the superstars, the Adidas, the three stripes with the...
Pull them up. The ones that the Celtics used to wear. Celtics had a pair.
Maybe. The superstars. You'll see what they look like. Yeah, So go down. See, they're $50.
Yeah.
Click on that image. No, the white ones. Yeah. See how it says superstar?
Yeah.
Didn't say that in the 80s. So you go online, you can actually buy in auctions original. And what's amazing is shoes in the 80s were skinnier. They were more narrow. And the tortoise shoe, the tortoise at the toe, the tortoise toe thing was more yellow. So I have when I was in, I just did Cirque du Soleil. I got to tell you this story. And I wore them for Cirque du Soleil, but I also wore them in
What do you mean
Brea.
you did Cirque du Soleil?
I got to tell you the story because it's so funny. I wore from the 80s. I bought a bunch of these, but I will not wear them outside. And so in the green room, the other comics are like, what are you, Mr. Rogers? Change your shoes? I go, no, these don't.
Stage shoes.
Yeah.
Stage shoes.
They stay. And these are too. I don't wear, these are the ones that the Celtics were wearing the last time they were good. Years ago.
I have stage shoes that I keep on the bus, and I wouldn't, in bad weather, I won't wear them from the bus to the green room. I will have them in the green room.
Yeah.
And then I'll put them on in the green room.
Exactly.
I had a velvet pair of Air Force Ones with a rose on it that I loved.
Yeah.
And they were really comfortable. I wore those I had those. I had a pink pair of Air Force Ones. And then I've gone through some Nike SBs. I love Nike SBs.
Yeah. I just got some pink, what is that? Converse. Pink Converse. That's with Stussy. Stussy made them together.
I just saw those.
Brendan Schaub has them.
Yeah,
By the way, I reached out to Brendan, said, "Hey, because I didn't know him, and then we were really, jiving, getting along well in the green room. So I reached out to him.
Yeah.
I said, I'd love to do your podcast.
He'd have you on.
Listen, I'm open to doing, if you want to pass me around.
Just reach out to people.
I don't have anybody's number.
Those.
How cool are those?
Yeah, those are really cool.
The color is plumeria. Do you know what plumeria is?
No, but I like it.
Yeah, it's the flower that when you go to Hawaii, they put around your neck. How cool are those? Me and Brendan Schaub wear those. Yeah, look at no superstar. Look at it's yellower.
Yeah,
I have those, kids. I wear those. When you see me on stage, so I did Cirque du Soleil in Vegas.
So what do you mean you did Cirque du Soleil?
This New York, it's called Mad Apple. It's in the New York.
I saw it a couple months ago. It's so good.
I was in it. Now, what'd you like about it? Can I look at him, or does that screw up the camera angle? How's this?
I was in October. You were doing it in October?
No, I did it in December. I just did it.
I was gonna say, I don't know.
What'd you like about the show?
It was here. Let me pull up the YouTube trailer for it. Yeah, it's really cool. I love the mixture of comedy, because it's stand-up focused. There's a lot of crowd work. I assume you're the guy doing all the crowd work and stuff.
No, I just did stand-up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So there's a stand-up guy, and then there's like the host doing crowd work and like going in, and then there's like crazy acrobatics and stunts. So it's Cirque du Soleil, but like the comedy version of Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah, you got to hear this. His explanation's great.
Hold on. Oh my God.
What? What just happened?
This is a fucking Rick Glassman just texted me that my glasses we go to the same optometrist, I guess. He just texted me and he goes, your glasses are in. And he's got video of my glasses sitting on the thing with my name. And he's like, your nice looking glasses. It's just the weirdest.
Like, why does he have access to your glasses?
No, it's just, he's there. So he's like, he's getting his glasses and he just sees my glasses. So then he's like,
how many pairs do you need? 4?
I get 4.
Wow, that's FU money.
No, that's not FU money. It's just, it's irresponsible. Here's how I believe. I believe you should have a lot of the things that you need all the time.
I agree.
Sunglasses, chargers. I remember when I realized this, I had a little bit of money and I was like, and I'd heard Tom say their charger was across the room. And Christina's like, we have money now.
Yeah.
Why don't we find a way to get our charger next to the bed? And he was like, yeah, I guess we could afford to do that.
Yeah.
And when he said that, it made it, because I was that way. I have a charger. Then I was like, why wouldn't I just get a longer charger so I could, instead of like having to hold it like this and look over the bed, that I could just move it like this. So I have a plethora of Whoop chargers.
What is that?
It's my Whoop. I have a Whoop. So I always have these around and they're always charged. This one isn't.
Is that for the iWatch?
No, that's for the Whoop.
Whoop. What's the Whoop?
It's the best fitness tracker I've ever worn in my entire life.
I think somebody told me about this.
Yeah, they're amazing. And so I have that. I have a ton of chargers.
Yeah.
I go hard on pens. I always have pens around.
Me too.
I love having
You got
pens.
scissors over here. There's a lot going on.
I do. What's the other thing? Reading glasses. I like to have, that's a grinder. I have reading glasses and sunglasses everywhere.
Yeah.
Because I always need sunglasses. I have really sensitive eyes, and I cannot see a thing without reading glasses. So I usually have.
What are you up to?
Reading glasses.
1.25,
2.
Whoa! Wow.
2, and I can't.
So how do you handle prescription versus reading?
So
Are they bifocal?
No. My prescription they're readers. They're just expensive readers and they're a little better because if I use readers and I'm on my phone a lot, I'll have a hard time adjusting my eyes later.
So can you wear these all the time or only when you're
only
reading?
when I read.
Right.
Like I have 100, I have 50-50, 20-20 vision.
Yeah.
Regular. I can see everything from everything, but when it gets in here, I lose it.
Yeah, I have great vision. Like I can see that says comedy gym.
Yeah.
Here's the worst part about reading glasses. Like when your eyes go when you're older, it just goes for one thing, reading. Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, go for everything. Because now you have to, like, every time you look at your phone, which is every other minute, you have to put on these glasses. You're just constantly going
That's
like
why
this.
I bought 4 pair, and I like the frame.
Are these the prescription ones?
These are prescription.
Let me see.
Old.
Can I see? What are these?
Old.
Maybe it's time for me to take your 1.75s. What are these?
Those are legit prescriptions. So one eye is worse than the other eye.
Oh. No,
Here, tell me if you can read off these dates in January.
Oslo, January. Bert Kreischer in January 8th will be in Oslo. January 9th, he'll be in Stockholm. January 10th, Berlin. January 11th,
you can read
Copenhagen.
that. You don't need glasses to read
January
that?
13th, Dublin. January 16th, Athens. Don't miss those shows, Athens. They're going to be great. January 19th
Not a lot
and 20th,
of Greek fans,
London. January 18th, Manchester. Let's get united and go see Bert Kreischer. January 21st, Glasgow. January 22nd, Newcastle. January 25th, Amsterdam. January 27th, I can't read that word. But what sneakers will Bert be wearing when you see him?
I don't think I was thinking about it today, and I was like, maybe I just don't do sneakers because I'd have to, because you can't wear sneakers outdoors in Europe in this winter.
Yes, you can, can't you? Booty
you're
sneakers.
Fucking get dirty as.
But buy
snowy
a
as
shit pair that you don't care about and just ruin them. Go, I'm going to ruin one pair of
I
sneakers.
bought a pair.
Here's the other thing, Bert. I got to tell you about fashion in general. Nobody gives a shit what any of us look like. We're the only one that cares that our sneakers.
But because I'm shirtless, I always like to at least put a little bit of effort into my shoes.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
I don't have anything else on.
Yeah, but nobody cares that I'm wearing 80s superstars. Like I could just get white out white out.
I disagree. People do care. People do care. There are people that go, there are things I didn't think anyone noticed, and people notice. Like I had a pair of Michigan off-whites that I would wear on stage, and the number one comment I get from like guys was like, nice kicks. I like those fucking shoes.
Yeah, okay.
And I remember Leanne telling me, it was the first time I realized shoes matter. I was playing Red Rocks, and I said, what shoes should I wear? I have these and these. And they were the off-whites, the Michigan off-whites with the pink laces all over it.
Yeah.
And she goes, I'd spark razzle dazzle. And I said, really? And she goes, yeah, like you're not wearing anything and you are at Red Rocks, so like step up your shoe game.
Yeah.
And I went, oh yeah. And so that's when I started really focusing on my shoes. For my special, I had 2 sets of shoes made. I had them like made from the sole up, and I picked based on like one was elephant, one was python, and I picked based on like I wore them on stage, and I let the audience, and it was amazing. The audience was like dialed in. They're like, the blue ones, and I was like, everyone. And then one guy was like, wear one of each.
It's amazing how much we put into, like, when I shot the More Than Loud special, I still have it. I probably bought 20 different variations of white pants.
Yeah.
And tested them different nights. Which ones I felt comfortable in, which one popped on camera, didn't absorb lights. Like, there's so much involved.
There's so much involved.
Tell me this. What are the latest feuds in the comedy podcast world? Who's feuding now? Because this is something I'm not involved with at all, that's the only advantage to not being in the podcast
I don't
circle.
think there's any. I mean, well, there was the big one was the Bobby Lee, Brendan Schaub one. That was the big one.
Yeah.
That was like probably
They were together in the green room at the Comedy Store. I was there.
Really?
I was sitting there. We all took a picture together.
That was a crazy one because
what was that over?
Kalila.
Yeah.
It was, I guess, Brendan had hit on Kalila. I mean, I feel bad. It's all stuff people know, so I'm not doing any. I'm just rehashing old shit. But Brendan had hit on Kalila, and Kalila and Annie and Esther brought it up on their podcast, and that he hit on. I guess he had hit on Annie too, but they didn't say his name. And then Brendan, I guess was calling Bob. That was probably maybe that's the biggest podcast drama. I mean, you get like the little ones. Like I remember does
Rogan get involved? Like no.
He doesn't get involved in his own drama. He's not fucking paying attention.
What other feuds are there? I want to be up to date on all
there was the one. My favorite one which was a good one was the Michael Che Tim Dillon one. Did you ever follow that?
No. What could that be about?
It was I don't know. Michael Che's not really on social media, so it's kind of I don't know how it happened, but I guess he posts stuff in his stories and then they go away in an hour.
Yeah.
So that's how he puts all his info and so I guess from my perception, he was head patting Tim Dillon, like saying like, Timmy's done good or what. I don't know what the fuck.
Timmy's done really well.
By the way, Tim Dillon, I mean, I think Michael Che is fucking hilarious, but like Tim Dillon makes me laugh harder than any one individual.
Yeah.
He is the funniest fucking guy in the world. We're talking about FOMO. Tim had a Christmas party the other day.
Yeah, it was great.
Did you go? I didn't get invited. I didn't get invited. And so I go.
No, I didn't go.
I saw Santino said that he went. And so I DM'd Tim. I was like, Christmas party and you don't invite me? I go, it's my brand. I love parties.
Yeah.
And then he wrote back, a screen grab of his invite. And I went, oh, motherfucker, he did invite me. And I just read it and then was like, oh, I'll reply later. And I wrote back, I'm a fucking idiot. And then he was like, of course he invited me and Leanne and the girls. But I guess Michael Che was, I would say it was head patting Tim. I guess. And then Tim's response was just hilarious. It was like, it could be said about any of us. He's like, Michael Che's done pretty good for an alcoholic who can't read. But it's obviously he can read.
Yeah.
So it's not but it's just funny.
Yeah.
That drama, but I think they're friends. I think they were fucking around.
Like, how do we know if the Bobby Lee, Brendan Schaub, if it's real?
It's very real.
It was?
Oh, fuck.
Was it going to get violent?
No.
Oh, good.
It would be extremely one-sided.
Be very fast, wouldn't it?
They did a podcast together to squash it. Just like the three of them, 2.1 million views.
Oh, you haven't seen that?
Wow.
It's a pretty interesting one.
Is it legit squashed or is it?
No.
Oh.
I mean, I don't think, I think ultimately it is squashed from Brendan's perspective because he did everything he could to apologize and make it right. I think ultimately Bobby, and I identify with him feeling like this. I felt like this before. Bobby feels like it's the same thing that happened when I got drugged by Ari. He goes, why me? Like, why is everyone doing this to me? Like, why does this happen to me? Do people think I'm weak or I'm soft? And I think that's where Bobby and I had a long talk about it, just talking about the feeling of, because he felt like he was bullied. And I've definitely felt like that at times where in this business, it's the whole thing is that, comedy's not, it's weird. I remember telling Patrice, I was so happy we were friends. And he was like, we're not friends. He's like, we work together.
Such a Patrice.
Yeah,
thing
he's
to
like,
say.
what do you mean friends? Like, he thinks, he goes, if I go to Tampa, can I stay at your parents' house? And I was like, probably not. And he was
Yeah.
like, then we're not friends.
Huh.
And I was like, oh, I guess you're right. He was like, are you picking me up from the airport? And I was like, no. And he was like, then we're not friends.
Huh.
He was like, we're two guys who work together who like each other.
Mm.
That's what we are.
Right.
And I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, oh, don't get your feelings hurt about it. And I was like, no, I'm just saying, I thought we were friends. If we're not friends, we're not friends.
So is there like podcast math? Like if I do Brendan's podcast, do I have to worry about alienating
No.
Bobby? If I
No.
do, have I made any enemies today by doing this podcast?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. I can tell you a couple of people that won't want to have you on their podcast.
Really? Who's that? Tell me who.
I'm not going to say their
Is it
names.
really? Edit
Oh,
it out.
fuck
Say-
yeah.
Come on, say it. Who?
No. There's definitely people that.
Really?
Yeah, there's definitely people who just. I think I don't know what there's comics that dislike me. I think because I try, like, so I like trying.
I don't hear anything bad about you.
I mean, yeah, there's comics that dislike me.
So what I mean, really, this is.
Oh yeah, I mean,
wish
none of the ones, nothing that really counts. Like all the great podcasts, I'm friends with pretty much, anyone that's a good podcast.
Do you ever feel like you're done talking? Is it?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. Like how much
sometimes-
can be said? Like when's the next one you're going to do? Where do you do the Bear podcast out of? Here?
We do that out of Austin. That podcast that's different. So like, this podcast for me is a labor of love in that I enjoy catching up and talking to comics, and I enjoy this, and I enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy it more. We're building a new studio. I'm going to enjoy it more there, I think. But Two Bears is a different animal because I write down ideas for Two Bears. I write down ideas for Two Bears throughout the week. Like anytime I go, this is a good one for Two Bears.
Yeah.
Like,
because I saw you you were going back and forth, which was funny about could you take out this MMA fighter? Could the two of you?
Israel, what's his name?
Nate Diaz, you were talking about.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I was.
Yeah.
I said I could fucking beat up Nate.
No,
Diaz.
you and Tom
Oh,
take him out.
wait, when was this? Did this come out
This
recently?
week, yeah.
Oh fuck, I don't remember a lot of what I say on that.
Anyway,
podcast.
Nate's here. Nate, come on in.
Jesus Christ.
We're gonna Bert tackle
That
you.
was the one where I was like, I don't know. You should
I don't think
say that.
Nate Diaz. That guy can take out like
Something
hordes
tells
of
me.
people.
Something tells me Nate doesn't get a whole lot of nuance. So I'm
Oh my God,
like,
this is gonna be your Oxnard.
Well, I mean, look, I'll get my. I don't mind getting smacked by Nate Diaz.
No, he wasn't because Tom. You were like, wait, if you went high and I went low, Tom's like, no. You don't think there's any chance we could ever take out Nate? He's like, no. Like it was.
That would be a great fucking.
You don't remember doing this?
I don't remember saying that. I remember challenging
You didn't
Israel
challenge him.
Israel
Adesanya.
Alessandro. Yeah, I remember challenging him to a fight. And knowing I'd lose, but I thought what we could do is we'd both have to start drinking beer.
Mm-hmm.
We'd have to each drink 10 beers, and then we'd fight. Because he doesn't drink, so I thought I could maybe get an edge because I'd be a little more confident.
Do you think if you guys drank, this could be a great pay-per-view?
Yeah.
You drink and then put on those inflatable sumo wrestler
I don't think we're
outfits.
getting Nate Diaz and a sumo wrestler.
Yeah, no, but that would if they were willing to do that. This
Yeah.
could be a great comics fighting MMA because MMA comics love MMA.
Oh, yeah.
MMA loves comics.
Everyone loves Nate Diaz. And I think sometimes I talk out of my ass with guys I like because everyone knows I like him. Like Israel is a very funny dude. So whenever I talk shit about him, it was always in a fun-hearted way.
Yeah.
I never talk shit about anyone I don't like. There's not any MMA fighters I don't like. I don't think.
I don't know any
like,
of
I
them.
like them all. Every time I meet one, I like them. They're always cool dudes. So and they have good sense of humor, and they're all
Or
fucking.
would
friends
any
with
of them
Rogan.
be willing to put on a sumo wrestler blow up inflatable outfit and drink and slosh around?
I bet Cowboy Cerrone would. I bet he would. I think he would be a guy that would be up for that.
Would that be fun to watch?
Have you seen the two little guys trying to beat up the big guy in the ring? It's
No.
fucking awesome. Have you seen that?
What do you mean?
Guy dresses in like a fancy Scottish outfit, and then two Asian dudes try to beat him up, and he tries to fight two Asian dudes. It's awesome. Have you seen that? It's fucking put 2-on-1 fight.
I just noticed that the drawstring is not even. Is that going to bother you?
No.
Are we going to fix that in post?
Yeah, fix it.
Is that going to bother you?
Um,
And then you got to hear the Cirque du Soleil
Wait,
this story.
did we release?
Yeah. Are you garbage? Something's burning. Today.
When?
Today.
Oh, for real?
A couple hours ago. Yeah.
Is that Carrot Top?
Where is it? Look, it's 2 versus 1. I love it. I think
I don't
Tom and
even know
I
about
think
this whole
Tom and I
category.
would stand a chance.
No.
I bet he would knock me out so quick.
You and Tom are bigger than him.
But Tom,
I'm not bigger than Nate Diaz.
is Tom a fighter?
Diaz.
Are you a fighter?
He weighed in at 170.
No, but I'm a man.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. These guys, they're beyond men.
He weighed in as lowest at like 155.
Oh my god, I fuck people with 155.
Yeah. He like weighed in at 170
I have
later on.
sex
Don't get
with-
yourself in
I have
trouble.
sex with 155.
Do you really?
Yeah,
Good for you.
yeah. She's roughly. Today's our anniversary.
He's like 5.
Today is happy anniversary.
Today's our anniversary.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And
Look
how much
at
does
Nate.
he weigh?
He's 6 feet 170. Weighs in at
6 feet.
170. So.
He's the height. He's the weight I should be at the height I am. So he's in great fucking shape. Conditioning wise, he would beat the shit
But
out
he
of us.
walks
I really
around looking
regret saying that I want to fight Nate.
No, you
Diaz.
didn't say you wanted to fight him. It was a scenario, I believe, right? It was a scenario. Could you, if there was a fight? It was a fantasy. You didn't say you
Yeah.
wanted to fight him.
I think there's a couple.
I don't
mean,
think.
the problem is he's better at throwing his hands than we are. And
I
he
think
would
he's better at
just-
everything.
Yeah.
He's actually better.
yeah.
In fact, say this. He's better at comedy than us. Let's just,
He-
so we don't get
yeah,
punched.
He might be.
Look at that. I love the way he does, because that's not the way this thing. And I do this. I do this at the gym, Bert. When I'm at the gym and I see like a total musclehead, like a guy whose entire life is dedicated to the gym and nutrition.
Yeah.
Like when he's working out, I don't know the guy. I just go like this and go. And I just look at their reaction. It's so funny because some of them play around or, they get into it.
Nate Diaz is just
Look at
all fucking muscle.
That guy is just, he's from Stockton, isn't he, California? Yeah. I can't, by the way, I can't beat up anybody from Stockton. Anybody over the age of 10 can kick
Stockton's
my
a
ass.
tough.
Yeah.
The fact that Stockton's a fucking. I remember one time Joe Coy did a promo video in Stockton, and everyone had ski masks on. And I
What?
was like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "Come to Stockton, Bert," and I was like, "I'm terrified. Everyone's in ski masks. I'm shirtless." Nate Diaz is a fucking badass. He's my favorite. He's one of my favorite fighters to watch.
Yeah, he is fun.
He
And
was-
his brother, too.
His brother too, man. They're so much fun to watch. They're so much fucking fun. Oh, it's kind of cool. Like, you think if you were a fighter, do you think, like, if you had to equivalent your comedy with fighting, what fighter do you think you'd be like?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I always, like Muhammad Ali, to me, I loved.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're talking that guy.
Yeah, but do you think you're Muhammad Ali on stage?
No, I know I'm not. But
Okay.
you-
No, so let's try to find an MMA fighter or a prize fighter, a boxer. Like, I feel like I'm sometimes the guy that fought Tyson when he got out of jail.
who was that guy?
The fucking white guy, McNeely.
Yeah. You're from Boston.
Yeah.
He was a Boston guy.
I feel like I definitely was Tommy Gunn.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely fucking.
Did we find the clip of the
That's
two
him. What's
people?
his name? What's his name?
McNeely.
Pete McNeely. Yeah, I'm a solid Pete McNeely. Like, I'm a Cinderella story.
That guy. Find
I'm
out what
Buster Douglas.
Pete McNeely's doing now.
He's sitting on cash.
No, he didn't make that much.
He's kind of mad.
No.
How much do you think he made? Oh,
No. It was, they can tell you, Bert, this is what they told him. You know the business. They said, listen, we're doing you a favor.
yeah.
You win, you can have as much as you want for the rest of your career. But this one, you're doing this one for low money. Tyson gets all the money. The guy, I don't want to say something that's going to get me punched, but.
Pete McNeely could still beat the fuck out of us.
Oh, anybody. Any
He's
of these
probably our
people.
age.
Does he have a Wikipedia?
Yeah, see what Peter McNeely's doing now.
See if we can hire him
he's
on
still in good
Cameo.
shape. Still in good shape.
Is he on Cameo?
I bet he is. I think you're in images.
Yeah, this is not the
You may want to
time.
go to
All.
Wikipedia. No. I just
All
deleted
Tyson.
I
stuff.
just deleted Cameo from my fucking phone today.
Why?
I was like, I've never used it. I don't know what the fuck it is.
I just signed up for it.
For real?
Yeah, I had the guy, the CEO, on my podcast.
Really?
Yeah. And
So pitch me on Cameo.
okay, so that's what I said to him. He said, what if I told
There's
him?
Pete McNeely.
It looks like he that one picture, he looks like Mark Cuban.
He looks great in that picture. That was probably the day of the fight. Click on that one with it where he looks in great shape with his family. What's that say?
Look at those jeans.
He's in great shape. Look at him. Pete McNeely, wait.
Yeah, it doesn't look like his life turned out exactly the way he thought it would. I'm sorry, but that it's time to go to Implants for Life. Have you seen this Implant for Life commercial?
Yes.
They got these people who have perfect teeth, and you look at them and they go, that doesn't match up with what they look like.
Yeah.
They were doing meth their entire life. Okay. And now they have perfect teeth. It looks like they did nothing. Like they let their life go to shit, but they brushed it and flossed all day.
It gives me anxiety to think about it.
Yeah.
Anything that's like when I hurt my arm, the fact that, and I know this sounds silly that I'll say this, but that my body was no longer perfect. And I know that I'm fat and I'm disgusting or whatever, but like the fact that I now was going to have an injury for the rest, that fucked me up.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is one I was watching. Watch this.
But this guy's dressed up.
Yeah.
He's in a suit and tie.
They got gloves on. These guys are little guys. And he is throwing them around. And whoa.
Does he have
beating the fuck out of them?
Just kick somebody.
Yeah. He really can fight.
What year is this?
This year?
Is this part of Cirque du Soleil? It's got the little circus thing on the bottom.
I think he loses.
Yeah, it looks like they got him down. Oh.
Trying to choke him out.
It's over.
He tapped him.
It's over. Guy in the tie lost? Shocking.
Oh, he's the CEO of the fight circus thing.
They just beat their boss up. That's not smart.
Oh my God.
Got to let him win.
I remember a long time ago, I was asking Rogan, I was like, wouldn't it be great if they put like a backpack on John Jones's back full of $100,000 and they just let people in the ring slowly and like first person to get, so you're
Can I tell you what we call this?
What?
The piñata. Because the last person cracks it open, they get all of it.
The first person that, like, so you
piñata.
You get a fraternity and you go, all right, here we go. Pick your 10. You pick your order, but
it's a gangbang.
Yeah, I guess the hard part is that they're human beings. So once you do that, you're taking what is the human cockfighting. Oh my God, they're fighting in
Siamese twin fighting.
But wait, they're not real Siamese twins.
They're just wearing one big shirt.
Well, this is insensitive to Siamese twins.
I had a great Siamese twin joke.
This is like, where's the potato sack fight? This is unbelievable. This is insensitive on so many different levels.
Yeah, this is. By the way, so you got to team up with a lefty.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, you want to team up with a lefty. This is boring as fuck.
Yeah.
This one isn't good. Does it get better?
What happens if the shirt rips? Can you continue or?
Yeah, and what's full fight circus? I mean, I like.
Oh,
whoa! What the fuck was that?
Jeez.
That's a ref.
Oh, and then they hug.
It's absurd.
Okay, I would love to interview the guy who puts Fight Circus on. By the way, they've only got 4,000 subscribers. Like this guy,
John Nutt.
John Nutt sounds interesting. He's a big thinker. He's a comic.
No, it's Tim Nutt in Canada. Funny guy. So I had the CEO of Cameo on my podcast.
What did he say?
So I said, first of all, explain Cameo to my parents. And I open my podcast with a rant always, and you don't know that he's the guest. And I'm just saying that nowadays celebrities are too accessible to people. People think that they can be bought. They want every email responded to and every comment online. And my guest today is part of the problem. And because I'm really against this concept of Cameo.
Yeah.
And he said, just give it a try. He said, you could make,
I've just deleted the fucking app.
$100,000. I'll give you my referral code.
Yeah, wait.
And then I get a percentage of what you make. Bert, do you see what I'm saying?
So wait, if you, okay. So it's a little bit of a pyramid scheme.
It feels, listen, I don't know if I love it. I've done a bunch of them so far, but my favorite one was this. This is a great Cameo.
Okay.
Somebody said, could you make a video? I envision us sitting around the Christmas tree on Christmas, and I'm going to play this video, and it's you telling my family that I got tickets to see you New Year's Eve in Las Vegas. Now that's cool because this is a guy that bought 4 tickets at $75 and he bought one of my cameos. And so that to me was fun. It's fun
Eric
to see.
Charles Nelson is fucking hilarious. He is so fucking funny. He is one of the funniest fucking comics. Eric Charles Nelson. I've talked about him before. He is so fucking funny, and I've never
look at
said
him
his
blowing
name.
up 342.
What's that? Is that how much?
Oh, but it's cheap. It's a $39 video.
That's not bad.
No, I mean that's
I'll tell you what I want to do. You ready for this?
yeah.
I want to do cameo, but for when I'm dead.
Oh, Dedio.
So I'm gonna do cameos.
Do you think this is a problem that I'm not on the main screen here for comedians?
Jim Norton.
I'm gonna have to text them and say what's going on. So what's Dedio?
No, it's cameo. I'm gonna pre-record a bunch of cameos.
Yeah.
To people, just to go through the most.
John.
Go through the John.
Michael. Sarah.
Buddy, I'm dead. But man, if I was alive, I'd want to party with you.
Yeah.
And then do cameos. So when I'm dead, I can still make money.
Yeah.
I can still make money for my kids. And then I'll just Eddie Pepitone. Like, wouldn't that be like, who's a dead person that you wouldn't mind getting wouldn't it be great if you could get a cameo from Patrice?
Yeah.
It's like, Bert, you mother. And like, but then you got it. And it was almost like he was alive.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We're going to have the technology to deep fake all this stuff.
Oh, yeah. Dice
for $450.
$450.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I see this as a problem that I'm not even in the comedy tab.
Fucking
to have fans
insane.
there.
That fan where?
Steve Sweeney. There's a picture with Bill Burr. Sweeney. Guys, hilarious Boston comic. One of the best.
Carrot Top.
Comedy tab ends.
Don Barris. Wait, you really aren't on here?
Yeah, this is bad.
You just had the guy on your fucking podcast.
Yeah, this is bad. I asked him for... Look at Dalia.
How much is he?
200.
250. Pauly Shore.
Tom Papa.
225.
Some people price themselves so high that they don't get any.
Ian
That's
Bagg.
part of the game, too.
Ben
This
Bailey.
is unbelievable.
Jeff Dye. Dirty Santa.
But do you think it's... Once again, I'm left out. So you wonder why I don't do podcasts. I'm completely... There's 3 tabs left.
Derek Gaines.
This is really...
Wait, where the fuck are you, Orny?
No, this is bad.
Let's keep scrolling. Taylor Williamson.
Let's call the CEO right now.
Skylar Stone.
Let's call the CEO right now and find out. I mean, I have some explaining to do.
Tell him you're on a podcast.
Yeah, I'm going to tell him on a podcast, and then
We're talking about cameo.
Yeah,
and I want to do Dedio.
Yeah, see if he picks up. It's blonde.
Keep going. Justin Martindale.
This is
store comic. Jared Fell. Orny, you're not even remotely on here.
No, this is embarrassing. He's got to pick up. Calling you now. He's British, by the way, if he ever picks up.
Hello,
love.
Jeff Tate for $20.
Not in the stand-up comic.
Please leave. It's a fake number he gave me. It's not even a real outgoing message.
Orny Adams.
Look at that. 10 reviews.
5 stars.
5 stars.
How much? $125?
Reasonable, right? I'm thinking of doing it to 150 right
Maybe
now.
you're in the actor section.
What, Teen Wolf.
Home
some
actors,
Teen Wolf.
TV, Teen Wolf. There you go.
Yeah,
Let me see one because I see one of his. What is it? What do you do? You just go like, hey man.
Yeah, go to what is that one? Not that one. The next one. See if that one. This is what I've been reduced to. Look at these losers I have to make a video for. I can't enjoy my Christmas like everybody else, even though I don't celebrate it. I have to make a video for Jory, Aaron, and Christian. 3 losers. 3. You asked me to roast you. Well, I would have roasted you anyway. Let's start with the fact that Jory ordered this video and wants me to roast him. Usually you order for the other people. Okay, then there's Aaron, who completely screwed up her life by getting married and running off. Couldn't stick with the plan. The plan was I mean,
This
we
is
were
pathetic.
all going to
This
stick
is
together
only
and be losers
hilarious
together.
If you do that and
Yeah.
you're like, hey man, bring up her dad, and
Yeah.
then when she sees it, she's like, my dad's dead, and he starts crying, and you're smiling, and what's up with your dad, huh? That's so fucking great. I did cameo for Tom.
Yeah.
I did Joe Theismann.
Martin,
Please leave your.
oh, this guy's unbelievable. Here it is. Hey, Martin.
Sorry, I was wet. I was in the jacuzzi, so.
Oh, I don't need that. I don't need that visual. I'm doing a podcast right now. I'm doing a podcast right now, a pretty big one. Bert Kreischer.
Hey, this is Martin Blanco.
He's across from me. Hold the video for 1 second. No, I'm producing. Anyway, so I'm trying to sell him on Cameo.
Here, let me pitch my idea.
No, wait, hold on. But I'm trying to pitch him on Cameo. Martin, can you hear me?
I want to do it. Yeah.
He deleted the app today. He deleted the app today. I'm trying to convince him, so then I give him my code. I get a percentage of his earnings, right? So I go, it's great. So I go, it's great. Listen, I go, it's great. So the producers pulls up Cameo on the big screen for us to scroll. He goes into the comics, the stand-up comedian section. Guess who's not there?
You.
Yeah. Yeah. Why is that?
Do you know what? There's like a weird. I'm not a product guy. The algorithms and all these things, it's quite complicated, by the way.
Okay, but I signed up for it because I knew you and you were going to take care of all this shit.
I need to speak to Adam, our product guy, and I don't believe I did that, Orny. So forgive me on that. I apologize for that.
Okay, let's fix that. Here's Bert.
my pitch.
He's got a pitch for you.
Hey, Martin, here's my pitch. I want to do cameos that are to be released and purchased when I'm dead.
Daddy-o.
So you
Trying to make my life difficult over here.
you pre-record. I pre-record a ton of them.
Have you ever heard the expression "kiss"? Keep it simple, stupid. Have you heard that expression?
He's made a living off of Kiss.
When you die, you're killing me over here. You know, I'm retiring. I'm retiring from show business. You guys are crazy.
I'm gonna pre-record a bunch with the most popular 1,000 names, and they'll just be like, "Hey man, I'm dead, but man, if I was alive, I'd love to party with you, Martin."
Yeah.
What are you guys doing? So you're doing the podcast?
Yeah, we're doing a podcast right now. I'm gonna re-upload Cameo to my phone. I literally deleted it today. I go, I don't use Cameo, but I'm putting it back on.
Yeah, please. I mean, listen. The thing is, the power. I mean this. I'm selling here right now. Is your greatest gift in this world is how you make people feel, and the Cameo thing is a gift for somebody, and it really can have a huge impact on them. So
Yeah, easy to say when you're taking 25% of our earnings.
Well,
yes, I gotta find a way to keep you guys motivated.
Yeah, so you can get back in the hot tub.
I'm corporate greed.
well, Martin, thank you very much for being on the podcast. I'm putting Cameo back on.
I have to give him my code, right, Martin? So I get a percentage? All right, I'll call you later.
If you go on the app, Orny, it'll be an SM. It'll probably be Orny in 3 digits.
Okay. All right, cool. Thanks, dude.
Have a great one.
Cheers.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's.
It's great, huh? So now the podcast has devolved into us just both on our phones?
No, I got my wife's texting me. We should wrap this up. We've been going for two hours.
Will you air this whole thing?
Yeah.
Do you want to hear the Cirque du Soleil? It's a funny story.
Yeah.
Because I think you'll dig it. So your producer, Halston, saw the show, and it's a mix of like people on trampolines and people like swinging by their hair. Like it's an amazing, look at this stuff, right?
By the way, the music and the singing.
Yeah, the singing's
Incredible.
great. You feel good. There's people flipping around by their, she's spinning by her hair. There's a band. They have an open bar like at the front of the stage. And then in the middle of the show, let's have a stand-up comic come out and do 10 minutes of comedy.
Really?
And they need somebody big. They had Brad Williams.
Oh, they have Brad.
Yeah, Brad did it. He was the first one to do it. So they offered me a 6-month contract. I said, no, can't be in Vegas for 6 months.
I would love that.
So then they offered me a 3-month contract. I said, no, I can't be in Vegas for 3 months. So then they go, how about 2 months? I said, no. So then they go, what about the month of December? Well, I was already booked. I had a private show, and I had the Jimmy Kimmel, and I was in Brea. So I said, what about...
How many shows a week?
10 shows, 5 nights. So it's 2 a night, and it's so precision. It's like the show starts exactly at this time. You go out exactly at this time. You better do exactly 10 minutes.
Wow.
You better don't screw it up.
So you're doing 10 minutes.
Yeah.
10 times a night. 10 times a week. 10 times a week.
Yeah.
That's
which
not
is
bad.
no, it's kind of hard because you just want to go out there and feel out the audience and
Yeah.
have fun. You're used to your show, you're used to walking out and people cheering. It's
Yeah.
like, no, you've just gone on after like these all-star acrobat
wow.
athletes.
Is the money good?
It's it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay. Keep going. Keep
But
going.
you know, I'm not about the money at this point in my career, but I enjoyed it. This was the nicest, most giving cast. I've done a lot of things in my career.
Yeah.
There was no ego with anybody.
Really?
They were so welcoming. And this is important because there's a closing number. Remember the closing number?
I was hammered.
Okay. Well,
He got COVID that night too.
you got COVID?
I was on my bachelor party,
Oh,
and it was
cool.
like one of the last nights we saw Matt Apple. So I was yeah.
So at the end of the show, because one of the
It
things,
says a lot that on Halston's bachelor party he went to Cirque du Soleil.
it's so
Hey, everyone left, and I was with my fiance and her sister, and then her significant other. So
yeah. Sounds like he's being pushed around
just the
already.
two of us, or
He hasn't even
four
got
of us.
married. Yeah. It's
fucking
sad.
lap dance.
Sad. No.
Go to OGs.
I was hammered.
Yeah, it was rated R though. Did they swear? Did you hear dirty language at the bachelor party?
So what's the end? What's the end?
Okay, so at the end of the show, they do this huge. It's the first time the entire cast is on the stage,
Yeah.
and they're flipping and they're dancing and they're getting the audience going, right? And then a cab. Now the stage goes way out. It's probably 30 yards out into the audience, and it's like in the round. And a car drives onto the stage, and the lead singer gets on top of it and starts going like this, singing, getting the audience, and then looks at me stage left. I can't see anything that's going on. I can just see the taxi cab, and he goes like this, and I run out. They all part, all the gymnasts, the trapeze artists, the contortionist, the juggler, they all part, and it's my big moment. I run up stage and I take a bow. Okay. The first night went perfect. Can't miss this guy going like this.
Yeah.
Second night goes perfect. Third night, I go, well, I'd like to see what's going on stage. I'd like to see, right? Well, the only place.
This is so you.
So
This is so you.
I'm curious. So the only place to watch the monitor is downstairs in the green room. So I thought I'll watch it on the monitor. And the minute I see the taxi coming out, I'll know that's time to run up the stairs. I calculated 37 seconds. I timed it, and I knew I had 37 seconds to get up there. Well, what I didn't figure in was there was going to be a lot of crossing backstage. A lot of the people like run out in the audience, they run through, they come. So I'm avoiding people. I get to where I'm supposed to stand, my spot, my mark, and the cab's full out there. It had already stopped, and the singer is making his way upstage. I go, shit, I missed the cue. So I run out, and I realize they're not parting. They're still dancing and flipping, right? And I go, shit, I'm in the middle of the closing number. And I'm like dodging them, and they're like moving really fast, like athletes, like really big guys are like almost, and I'm fucking up the closing number. Like I'm bumping into people, I'm dancing around them and stuff like that. And I'm not even making it a week. They're going to fire me tonight. I get to the front of the stage, and these people move fast. They were all gone. I'm alone at the front of the stage now, right? Right? They've all moved back. So now I thought I'm just going to dance off like they do. So now it looks like I'm in the Cialis commercial. I'm like, like this guy doing like this. And I get off the stage, and the producer looks at me. I go, I'm getting fired. And she said, congrats, you just made the blooper reel. I go, please tell me we have this on tape. And she goes, yeah. And then a minute later, what I didn't realize was the guy goes upstage and then comes back and then gets on the taxi cab. I came out too early. And so then a minute later, he calls me out, and now I've got to go out into the stage again. After like feeling like a buffoon. I have watched the video
Is this
of
the
it.
end?
Yeah, so he's up on the taxi. Yeah, that's it. So he's up on the taxi, but this isn't the clip where I screwed up. Somebody has it because they let everybody tape it. And they sent me a copy of it. And I mean, look, I got to follow this.
That thing's hard to do.
Yeah, it's hard to do. All this is hard to do. All I have to do is be funny for 10 minutes and then not miss the closing cue. I screwed that up. That's the bar. There's a bar at the beginning
That's fucking great.
yeah.
Wait, just go to the end, Halston.
Yeah, you were there. Remember, he was on top of the
It's just a
taxi.
picture. It's just a picture. That's
Yeah, there he is. See the guys on. Oh no. Oh, it's just a picture.
It's just a picture. Yeah.
I wish I
Hit
brought.
play. Hit play.
I wish I brought the video because you can watch it.
Can you scroll back?
It's not like it's just a picture.
Oh,
They're
it's just
probably
different.
talking right now.
It's just
Yeah, they're talking.
Okay. Well, now I want to go to Vegas and see a show.
Yeah, it's a fun show. I mean, I'll go back and do it. I can't do a long stretch though. But look how much fun it is, and to not have to worry about selling tickets.
Yeah, but if you're single and you're there, and all those Cirque du Soleil people are single, and they're all from fucking different parts of the world, right?
None of them were interested in me.
Oh,
No,
for real?
no, I was like the old guy on the cast.
I did Cirque du Soleil once, but I did it was for Travel Channel, and I had to jump off like a 3-story dive off of the balcony
Yeah.
into the thing, and everyone was like in great fucking shape.
Yeah, there's the taxi cab, right? So here, yeah, this is the end.
Mm-hmm.
This is it, everybody. Does it look like the comics should be on the stage?
So you,
Oh, no, not yet. It's close to it, though. See how they're all moving like that?
yeah,
At this point, see the lead singers up front, upstage? I would have been in the middle of all this trying to get around all these people. Watch them move. See that? Yep. Imagine me weaving my way through this. And in real time, it's scary and fast because you're almost bumping into people simultaneously thinking, what does the contract say? Do they have to pay me for the other 3 nights of shows, even though I screwed up? Imagine the comics in the middle of this.
and you don't know any of the dance.
Oh,
moves.
no. And then I'm at the front of the stage alone. Now, see how they all start retreating and stuff? It was,
Yeah,
it was scary. I have this exact angle, but with me screwing it up. Okay, now is now he's on top of the taxi.
So is he going to call the comic out?
Well, let's see if he does. Maybe Brad's this lady's got to get in the way. Just ended.
Video ended. Okay, cool.
Wow.
That's a perfect end to our
But
podcast.
only the
So
comic
whose
could screw that
podcast
up.
do you want to do?
Oh, I mean,
Like,
I'd love
who do you
to.
want me to reach out to?
Doesn't it sound desperate if I say whose podcast I want to
No,
be on?
because some of them might be listening. Have you done Whiskey Ginger?
No.
Should do Whiskey Ginger.
Love to do it.
Yeah, have you done Tiger Belly?
No.
Should do Tiger Belly.
Love to do it.
Are you
What else?
garbage? Are you garbage?
Are You Garbage?
Who's that?
They're fucking amazing. I just had them on Something's Burning today. Their podcast is awesome. They basically go through and ask you a list of questions that define whether or not you are garbage or not.
Huh.
And it's fucking funny shit.
I did Joe Coy's.
Joe's the best.
I just did Howie Mandel's. I came out today.
He's great.
I'd like to do 2 bears. Is it ever 3 bears?
No.
Is it ever 2 bears and a Jew?
No. It's
Okay.
just 2 bears. But we always need guest bears. So
I mean,
I'll hit you up.
obviously, I would love to do like a Rogan. I'd love to do Mama's House.
Your mama's house?
Your Mama's House. I mean, I'd love to do all
Whatever,
this.
go. What did we make on that? What did we make? Oh, we made
Oh yeah, the fucking shitty meat. What's it called?
haggis.
Haggis. Yeah.
Well, I'll hit up Tom. When are you in Austin next?
Oh, I have to go to Austin to do
Yeah,
this.
that's part of the fucking gig.
Do you think I can double up and do Rogan?
Yeah.
I don't think you would have me. I don't think he's in.
The problem is Rogan's so booked up that even trying to get on Rogan, I mean, I don't, I usually, it's different because I'm usually doing it with Tom or Ari, or I'm doing it with a
Yeah.
group. So
Plus,
I'll
you're a
get call
legacy.
last minute.
Yeah.
But even still, like I'm a little cognizant of how busy he is. So if I have a special coming out, I'll call him the second I find out.
Yeah.
And tell him. But so like I remember someone was just saying they were trying to get him to do because they wanted to promote their special, and he was booked out for like 2 months.
Wow.
He's booked out with fucking like
Huge guess.
yeah,
Huge.
He's got everyone.
Yeah, it's amazing.
He's a little hard to get as a comic these days, I think. But Tom's a great podcast. Your Mom's House is a great podcast, and if you can time it right and Tom's there, you can be a guest bear on when he's
cool.
there, when I'm not there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's I don't even think he does Tom Talks anymore, does he? Does he do Tom Talks still? When was the last one? A year ago. Yeah, he stopped doing Tom Talks.
Yeah, here we go.
Anyway, I'm open. I'll do any of them. I actually enjoy it. You know what's interesting is that they're all different.
Yeah.
You know, I did Harlan's yesterday. It's such a different
I
tone
gotta call
than
fucking
this.
Harlan. I gotta call Harlan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He reminded me to. He said,
Did he really?
Bert, no. Yeah.
I ran into the store and he was like, we had to do a podcast. I was like, yeah, definitely. I've just been so fucking busy.
You got to come up and do mine at some point,
yeah.
too.
When I'd love to.
Anytime.
I'm back in mid-February.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's space it out a little bit. And, you know, this is fun.
I'm glad you did this, buddy. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is a blast.
I appreciate it. Yeah.